made sure the world knows them from the get-go after a dominating performance in their opening match against Title Legends Gaming of China. Powered by CLA, who will be entering today's match as Sony MVP of the day and the current record holder for the highest kills in a single game of whopping 15 kills.
And their competitors, their challengers in the first series of the day, representing Malaysia, it's MWI. Navi MY brought the fire on day one. Sharp rotations and fearless engages.
Jap doh TikTok. Mana
No room for doubt.
Camera no bar.
Stand one series away from locking their spot in the knockout stages and continuing their journey in MWI 2025.
Wow, we sense Storm
Hilang, Cok.
making their way down those flights of steps. All of our girls right here's eyes are locked in. All eyes on
Syam, ulti Hellcat ke? Kejap, guys.
This is the trophy
Aku
of
pun tak tahu dia pergi mana.
2025. Now at the end of this match, we will be finding out who will be one step closer to the knockout stages.
So without further ado, let's head on over to the studio with our incredibly talented host and our queens of the analyst desk to start off day number 2.
Alah. Mana doh? TikTok aku ni gila siap. Delete lo. Delete pun tak boleh. Starting. TikTok aku problem. Kejap YT. YT pula TikTok.
Ribuan terima kasih kepada Daud Sandstorm dan juga beliau di atas perkenalan dan kita lihat bagaimana pasukan-pasukan keduanya telah bersedia yang kita boleh untuk bincangkan dan berkaitkan dan
Tadi macam ada tadi tu yang lain tu.
upayaan kedua pasukan
Suara game ada tak guys? Suara caster. Ada kan?
Ya, betul.
Hellcat Syam ya. PC kau selalu buat gerakan tambahan Syam.
Di dalam 4 kumpulan yang
Sumpah lah TikTok ni.
agihkan untuk pasukan yang bertanding di dalam kejohanan ini.
Aduh, nak delete pun tak boleh doh ini. Bug doh.
Pasukan yang cukup kuat juga
Bug doh guys.
musim lalu bercundang berhadapan dengan
Ya aku try restream balik jap
hari ini giliran
TikTok jap
liquid pula untuk berhadapan dengan
Sekejap aku restream balik.
daripada Malaysia ini. Adakah tentera berkuda mampu untuk menahan serangan daripada Nabi Malaysia? Kerana kita lihat pada hari semalam mungkin ianya
Tak apalah Syah, aku pindah YT. Tak kuat sangat. Okay, sekejap
ke atas Selena Hani daripada
Ngebak.
kalau dekat Malaysia pun
Halo. Habis. Thank you.
mereka main hari tu yang lawan dengan tim lelaki semua. Satu je match yang diorang seriously hampir sangat menang. Selain daripada tu semua orang bad. Sebab ada tim tu dia dilepas Selena. Selain daripada tu semua orang bad. Tapi tiba-tiba tim tu dia lepas Selena. Hampir sangat-sangat menang untuk muda. Sebab waktu tu Nabi ni menang mudah. Sebab waktu tu early game memang batal-batal habis. Minit 8 dah kena inhibisi je comeback. Tim lelaki tu diorang dapat comeback.
tersebut dapat terlepaskan oleh tim ni
Assalamualaikum.
tapi beliau lah jadi chief man untuk pasukan MWI tolong kemenangan dalam bagi boleh lock jadi boleh tolong Syah Nabi MWI tolong bagi fokus sikit kat dia punya gol dia tolong Syah dan kawan-kawan
Katakan pemain-pemain daripada pasukan Nabi Malaysia kita boleh katakan
Mak bayar macam mana tu?
pemain daripada pasukan Nabi Malaysia kita tak kenali oleh para nak perkenalkan lagi mereka dah semimarinya dikenali oleh para
Jangan main tu. Nah, no play.
mereka pasti sudah pun bersiap
Okay, masuk balik guys. TikTok. Let's go. Nampak handsome hari ni macam pakai foundation ke? Natural beauty doh. Natural beauty. Like natural gila siap. Siapa yang lagi cepat Bosan lah. Bosan lah guys. Malaysia tak ada tunjuk gameplay tau guys. Tak ada tunjuk stage tau. Aku nak tukar Aku tak nak pakai Malaysia. Kita tengok MLBB Sport. MLBB Sport ada tunjuk ni. MLBB Sport lah. Kita pakai MLBB Sport lah. Indo pun bosan guys. Indo pun bosan sebab dia pakai dekat stage tu. Nampak tak? Kalau aku pakai MLBB Sport kan, mantap tu. Sekejap YT kita tukar kak. YT kita tukar yang MLBB Sport ni. Dah start draft dah guys. Ni gaming gladiator tu.
Well, we're gonna see what kind of heroes they get because we're jumping straight into the draft here. Navi MY will be first pick. Team Liquid second pick. Looking at the bans here, betting out the Harif Kimi as well as Badang, which is quite interesting. I understand Kimi, but the Harif as well as Badang feels very targeted.
Malaysia macam tak nak cakap je duk. Kita tak nak pakai Malaysia guys. Sorry Bukan tak support Malaysia. MWI MLBB. Kita pakai English English best guys. English best. Serius. Pukul 8 laju. Rahim.
So I'm wondering if it will be indeed an option later.
Dah lah, bosan lah next. Tak nak Orang lain. Hari-hari benda sama je. Aku tak ada ni doh, tak ada. Aku tak dapat ni manfaat. Aku nak buat benda baru. Kalau hari-hari benda sama tak ada manfaat doh. Ada aku live. Kau tolong translate Hisham, boleh ke? Boleh je. Korang dengar suara aku okey tak guys? Suara aku dengan suara game ke macam slow? Okey je kan? Tak nampak sebab saya potong semua. Sebab dia tak boleh besar-besar yang. Tak boleh tutup sponsor lah apa semua tu. Saya tak bagi. Okey dah tu ada suara Lafel. Yo guys, minta tolong guys tag screen ni. Bagi semangat dekat Navi MY guys. Kalau korang nak tahu dia tengah lawan tim nombor 2 paling kuat dekat Filipin tau. Ini game best ni Navi Malaysia kalau menang ni. Gila. Tak boleh bagi dah yang. Sekali-sekali je. Sembelit nanti yang. Tak boleh lah yang ni. Dia tak elok. Serius. Nanti biar betul tu. Boleh susah sebab saya ke sini. Prediction Hisham, Navi Malaysia menang 2-0 guys. 2-1 lah. Navi Malaysia pernah menang lawan TLPH ni. Oh, faham. Tak nangis tak tengok Hisham ya gak tu. Hari tu Navi dah bantai 2-0. Aku rasa kali ni dia tak akan bagi 2-0 lah. 2-1 lah, janganlah 2-0. Tak respect streamer tu. Mikrofon berpasir. Mikrofon saya. Mikrofon apa tu? Tak faham aja.
And this is another interesting thing because usually the mid laners immediately show up.
Rina Comel Zon. Rina Comel. Syah kombinasi apa dalam Navi MY? Saya dah bosan tu. Diorang cakap benda sama je. Saya layan je lah yang diorang comel lah apalah.
Or unless they're looking for the likes of Jushin or the more close
Overdue
mages to go up against Navi, but would you really want that because there's a
Bandar Putra pemain kat mana?
Yeah, actually it's gonna be hard if there's Asian shade. Fars has been banned for this game. I think the story of the mages here is gonna be the ending part.
Office lama komputer apa main?
When we saw the clip, right, they said that our pool is bigger.
Bukan. Tu bukan puncak ke?
Story will change for Navi MY, knowing that
mana ada LP Lesa ada Putra.
Yes, we have a lot of heroes for post 4 or for mage as an option, but as long as the mid lane is winning, then it would be an
mana ada? Bukanlah yang.
Yeah, but I wonder how
How likely is it for Team Liquid to be the ones to deny the Selena though?
Because we're looking at a Matilda ban here as well, which does mean that, I mean, looking at both Joy as well as Rachel, we do see that they are going for a more burst.
Apa tu?
Now the thing that I'm looking out for is actually the
Suara kat YT slow Hisham dekat TikTok. Okay. Boleh aku boleh kokkan.
Some kind of catcher because I kind of feel like they have the damage.
Dah, okay.
Yeah, there
TikTok.
isn't any
YT.
crowd control just yet showing
YT alright tak?
Team Liquid. Ooh, the firearm is banned though. How likely is it that we get to see another
Ni nak kenapa duduk belakang papa?
play
Sana sikit.
for Navi since they're lacking their mid laner? But
Baru nampak.
so is
We haven't
their
seen a lot of
roamer.
Louis after the patch
Yeah,
change.
true.
Even in rank,
Okay,
in rank we were like,
Cam, belanja
no,
drone
I don't
satu.
like this anymore.
Or maybe
Janganlah Aidan.
their
Tak tengok custom
roamer,
Melayu, Pak
because
Cam.
Navi doesn't have their roamer.
Korang jangan pergi tengok tu.
So that could be
Dia macam tak ada vibe tu,
another
guys.
thing Team Liquid has
Aku
to
bukan tak
consider,
support Malaysia
but
punya
they-
stream.
okay.
Tapi kalau
So yesterday,
streaming dia macam
for
tu,
Navi MY, they
macam tengok
got
tournament
that
ni guys.
layout.
Tournament
Tournament
online
series
yang
tu.
kampung punya.
So,
Yang caster tunjuk
although
muka
if
je.
they
Tak
didn't
ada tunjuk
it means
suasana,
that they should
tak ada tunjuk
image that is not in the burst. Because
post
if,
match.
you
Lepas
have
tu
two
item.
scaling heroes
Aku
and
bukan
then
tak nak
one
tengok
support,
stream MPL Malaysia.
XP lane,
Aku
and
nak
then
tengok,
it's not
aku nak support
advisable
orang.
to get that
Tapi
lane.
kalau streamingnya macam
Yeah,
tu,
right now, honestly, looking at the draft
Ay, kita tengah tengok
for
EWC
Team
tu,
Liquid, it
guys.
does look like they want
Takkanlah
to fight at
korang
any
nak tengok
moment
muka
because
caster
having
je.
Jushin
Dia tak ada pun
makes
tunjuk
it
ni, guys.
easier for you to funnel
Dia tak ada
the farm
tunjuk
with Joy
lepas
or the
game ada
Gator
apa,
because Jushin herself doesn't
ada
do all that farm to
table
be
tu
useful
semua
in the
tu.
game. So, Navi MY, they do have this
Korang tak tengok lagi
opportunity to draft so
beza
that they
dia.
can fight anytime as well to
Ada beza,
stop the
guys.
pressure coming in from Team Liquid.
Tak ada ubat tu. Aku nak buat apa, aku nak cakap dengan dia.
Clear so that eventually
Tak sampai
they can
feel dia
scale up
betul-betul.
into
Kita
late
nak
game
feel tu,
and
guys.
fight
Feel
in
suasana dekat
Now the Eve
stage
gets
tu
picked
kan.
up, and even the
By the way, guys, ramai-ramai ni minta tolong.
answer, both
Hadir.
Joy as well as the Hilda.
Like dulu, guys.
But if
Ni
the
lah, jangan buat
Jushin
situ.
pulls the Bellering towards them, then that could be disastrous
Yang.
for Team Liquid.
And that's the thing, the
Anak ni.
lantern, they just constantly trigger the passive
Yeah.
for Belleric. So
Yeah,
what
Mama.
was the plan, or what's gonna be the plan here for Team
Tangan dia
Liquid?
kotor,
They're
Yang.
lacking their
Crowd control. I mean, like you have
Crowd
crowd control on Jushin, but
that's like
I am thinking maybe I got thought could be an option here.
oh, so Hilda roam.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so Hilda is going roam, and now Lapu Lapu is going to the EXP. Well, what do you think about this, Chantel?
Actually, for this one, I think
Boleh
for
menang ke, Syam? Ui,
TLPH,
Syam.
it's
Ui,
kinda
Belleric
hard
tu.
to dive against Belleric and even
Belleric
Evil,
menentang Lapu,
specifically if
menentang
you are
Duxin,
a Lapu-Lapu.
Ranger.
But it seems
So
like
dua
they
hero,
wanna
3 hero masuk,
go and
Belleric
just
eh.
dive
No,
in.
I understand.
Belleric
you, and
gift.
now we gotta throw it
Ush,
over to our
new
casters to
meta
start
baru ni,
game
Aish.
one of
Aish bawa
MWI.
keluar meta baru ni, guys.
And we're now up for the second day. It's going to be on to the qualifying stage.
Sepatutnya boleh menang. Tapi kita tengok. Tapi dari segi draft, ini meta yang macam risky sikit untuk tim.
The panel have been
Team
talking
apa ni?
about, breaking records, new heroes, savages all throughout day number 1.
Yeah.
We get a
Navi.
big gift here too. Day number 2.
Mari kita.
Belleric showing
Let's
up
go,
with
guys.
an old counter to the joy that we saw in M6. Welcome
Let's
to
go,
the last
Kucham,
round.
let's go,
get
tu.
right into game number 1.
And with that, it's going to be Fafau and
Osh,
Kala
ni
on the gold
ni
lane.
apa? Hilda mid eh?
Former title holder for
Hilda room eh?
most kills in a single game. She could try
Oh,
and
Rina
get the
terus
title
start
back.
merah eh.
Just
Nampak dia.
along with this game on number 1, but
So
let's
Joy
see.
akan lagi laju,
There
guys.
will
Sebab
be
Rina
no,
daripada biru
records
pergi ke
to
merah.
get against
Dia dapat
today.
Hilda tu nak masuk.
But looking forward here, based
See,
on the
Joy dia
draft,
siap dulu.
this is not something that we see every day, especially with
Ni
this
adalah Hilda
Belleric
Roma eh.
tournament.
Belleric OP ke? OP guys. OP juga tapi dia tak salah, dia tak meta sangat. Cuma kalau korang bermain around Belleric sedap.
Within that goal lane. Fafau last time 12 kills, remember, but
Exactly.
man, it was
Okay, mid
shattered
prio,
by
mid
Claw
prio.
on a pick that was
Hilda tak
actually
main
Ranger
pressure mid
against
tau.
Claw, so it's a
Yeah.
comfort pick.
So,
Though, we gotta talk about this matchup.
tapi
because
Shanshin ni
game
akan jadi
one,
lebih
I think
susah
every
sikit,
time
guys.
we see the Irithel, we see most people
Game ni
just
best tau. Game ni
stay
best, guys.
away
Siapa yang
from
baru
the
masuk,
Ranger. Again,
korang kena
trying to
stay, guys. Kena
avoid
tengok,
that
guys.
counter matchup.
You
Ini
just
game
tend to
kuat lawan kuat ni.
somehow pick the safer route if ever. But looking at the emblems as well, more so we are focusing on the gold to goal here with a quantum charge, and of course a pure rage here for Cloud.
Yeah, for Fafau, it's also the Master Assassin, so really trying to capitalize on that winning matchup here to get the better of Claw. But so far, we got a recall battle.
What, ikut dia ke battle?
There's Soldier flexing, sleeping as well on Remen.
We see you. And Sojourn Ramen here will just play a very
Boleh,
important
boleh.
role. As a panel of mentioned, they were trying to
Kita
find
tengok
if
first
it's
2 minit,
going to
guys.
be
Dah tak ada
a
buat apa
Hilda
ni.
on the drum here, Mirko,
Liquid
and
Beach
we're
ke Syam? Ya.
quite There's one question. How about
Ui,
crowd
lasik.
control? But Zaishi
Wah.
there.
Oh, nice ni, nice ni. Dapat priority untuk turtle ni. Member akan balik, Zuzi akan balik. So, diorang kena burst turtle now. Now or never. Syah. Alamak. Alamak. Tak boleh ni. Oh, mantap. Joy ni salah, guys. Lapu-lapu dia salah. Dah. Menang kita ni. Joy-nya pergi ke turtle memang sedap ah.
Women to women formation here. The defense on the
Lapu
turtle
kick
take
doh.
was so beautiful.
Sepatutnya Lapu tu tak payah.
Just capitalized.
Patutnya
on
dia
the
terus pergi
global
lompat dekat
presence
ni,
of
guys.
what
Give
Andy
atau
can
Shanshin tu.
provide. As you
Tapi better
mentioned, on the
Shanshin.
mid lane comparison, you could
Masuk
do
salam
much,
macam mana? Siapa buat salah?
alone. Yes, you have
Macam tadi
certain
kan.
crowd controls here,
Sepatutnya
just
Liquid
control
dia punya hero ni, guys. Sepatutnya
certain
terus
players
pergi ke
for
hero.
Zaishi's Jushin.
Rugi kalau
So
diorang pergi
you
buat
cannot
turtle, guys.
deny that Navi MY just has that boxing square.
So,
They could
kalau
be
korang tanya
really
aku,
useful.
Team Liquid dah
And
buat
now,
problem lah tadi.
on the sticky situations,
Kesilapan yang
that
obvious,
is
which
where
is diorang
opponent
terus pergi fokus turtle, guys. Bila diorang fokus turtle, so tak function lah. Hero yang diorang pick ni, pick Hilda untuk counter Shanshin, pick Lapu untuk counter Shanshin. Tapi tak ada siapa counter, tak ada siapa pegang Shanshin tadi. Ni ya, dah menang lah ni. Ketua pula Mamat Hilda ni. Menang tak kita? Harapan ni. Tipu ni kalau kita kalah. Nampak kita main as a team tau. Kita main as a team. Si Liquid ni main apa dah? Main sorang-sorang. Meninggal lagi. Baik doh. Dah final, grand final Navi Malaysia menentang Navi Filipin. Tapi untuk pengetahuan korang, guys, ini bukan tim paling kuat dekat Filipin. Ini tim nombor 2, guys. Korang kena tahu. So kita ada lagi, korang kata, saingan lagi, guys. Kita ada lagi yang perlu kita hadap, iaitu Navi Filipin dengan Vitality. Dia 3 tim je. So 2 tim ni kuat, guys. Yang kita tengah bantai ni Filipin nombor 2. Tapi kita kuat lah, guys. Kita punya YSS. Kita punya YSS. Kita punya tim Navi. Waktu dekat Home Boys ada scrim dengan Home Girls ke? Waktu dekat Home Boys ada. Kita orang kena bantai teruk lah. Kita orang main 4 game, kita orang kalah 4-4. 4 game kita orang kalah kena bantai tau. Macam kita orang tak percaya. Opak kuatnya Home Girl. Yo. Ui, Daiki flicker, mana flicker Daiki? Tak flicker. Daiki simpan flicker untuk next game. Bagus. Kacip tu. Daiki, guys, Daiki kacip.
She can take as many shots as she can. It's all good.
And Navi MY just predicting.
Dah tak payah main doh, Liquid dah menang dah. Navi bagi kill. Bagi je menang game 1. Kenapa korang cakap aku tipu, guys? Betul. Korang tanya aku jawab kan.
And taking closer look here onto the plan for Daiki, I do agree that was somewhat questionable. She didn't have to somewhat contest that
Onit Pertiwi pun kuat, Syam. Pertiwi siapa?
But maybe sort of a decoy just so TLPH could get some pickups, and so far
guys, hadir guys. Siapa-siapa yang belum punch card dulu. Siapa yang belum follow Masa follow aku baru 9 orang je yang follow TikTok aku. Korang dah follow aku yang 1000 ni. Mantap tu. No. Belerik doh. Belerik ke Syam? Belerik, guys. Kalau korang nak menang, korang pakai Belerik, bawa Revitalize. Memang sangat-sangat kacip je kombonya. Hilda ni lagi berjalan-jalan di taman tu. Wah. Nice Rina. Nice map awareness, by the way. Good job. Okay, kita dah akan tengok peperangan dekat Turtle Dalam 10 saat peperangan akan berlangsung di Turtle. Lapu-lapu dengan Hilda cubaan untuk mengekat atas. Dan kita akan melihat pertarungan 5 menentang 5 di Turtle ni, guys. Ini adalah pertarungan 5 menentang 5 di Turtle kerana ini adalah Turtle yang ketiga. Dan semua ada ulti. Mana Zuxi punya ulti tu?
They're showing off their skill set here. They're showing off.
Fafau. Nice positioning. Positioning untuk poking tu. So masing-masing akan kena main around Belerik ni, guys.
don't care. We're here to play.
As long as
We play
Balearic
for
dapat
ourselves. And we are here to say, right?
cover
And
5
for
orang ni
Navi
kan.
MWI, they're saying here,
Cover tak payah 5 orang pun tak apa.
on the jungle yet
Cover
again,
Yif
the
je
last
guys.
turtle for
Sekejap lagi Yif ni
round.
akan kena all in ni.
Being eyed by TLPH. Will they
Hai,
be
tak ada
able
pertarungan
to
5
contest
mental
this
5
one?
di turtle.
Soju on the
Kerana
back.
Joy-nya
This
melepaskan
side
turtle.
arena, I think this might be
Joy-nya pergi
somewhat
ke
of a
atas.
turtle for Navi MWI.
So kalau dia pergi ke
Rameshi is
atas,
still
maknanya
far
turtle
away.
ni, kalau team Liquid masuk juga, maknanya diorang kacip guys. Please, lapu-lapu lompat kacip. Tak cukup kacip, dia lapu-lapu. Allahu Akbar. Ui, ulti. No. Revitalize.
The kill, Sean back. He's going for the slam spread,
Wait.
but that's about it as Ramisi clears up top
Device
again.
apa tu macam? Aku tak tahu dia orang pakai info apa. Siapa ada info guys? MWI Indo ada 2 slot. Hah? Oh ya. Oh bukan Filipin je ada 2 slot.
And that's the kind of XP or that's the kind of glue that you would
Oh,
want
no.
as a Ranger, that you know was the Sony
Oh.
MVP for
Pakai
yesterday's
Hono.
matches. But now for TLPH, they're really struggling.
Hono.
But one thing is for sure,
Info apa dah tu?
doing a great job on
Lama
closing
siap tak dengar
up the
info
gap
Hono tu.
dimension onto the level. And of course, she
So, sekarang dah selalu dengar
capitalized onto the
Infinix,
icing as well.
Realme guys.
And now onto the bottom side, we could see some pressure happening right now.
Ui. Zuk sini tolong Zuk sini tolong ke Syam? Ui, Hani. Flicker ke depan.
Very aggressive RWM punished instantly. Ramisi in the mid lane just
Ya Robi mid pecah guys. Oh no, Navi make a big mistake guys. Kalau korang tanya aku ni big mistake ke Syam? Sangat-sangat big. Kerana Joy-nya sekarang akan mendapat free farm. Tetapi Navi tengah kena press guys. Korang tengok ni. Rina tengah kena press. Sementara Joy-nya happy farming mid atas dari tadi. Oh no. Makanya jangan banyak cakap kalau tak tahu apa. Kau kenapa ni? Kau kacip Don Monkey. Kau jangan kacip tu dalam live aku.
Good spot by Hani there. Spots out Ramisi. He's gonna have to.
Kau ni masuk-masuk macam orang tengah cakap pasal handphone. Kau pergi cakap pasal jual daging pula. Kau jangan kacip tu.
Honestly, it was quite in. Team Liquid literally just capitalized on that. And I really think it's also just the forced errors.
Yeah,
Liquid have been
Oh ni dengan vitality rasanya Indo 2 slot. Ya. Indo 2 slot rupanya. Too much kacip tu live kau ya. Kenapa Kenapa orang suka kacip dalam live aku? Live orang lain tak ada kacip-kacip. Live aku banyak orang yang kacip. Wah. Mari kita berharap guys agar Yif tidak kena all in kat sini. Tapi tolonglah Fafau jaga positioning kat sini. Lepas tu makan backline dia weh. Bahaya. Jangan bagi dong poke tau. Jangan kena poke sangat Redmoon. Sabar. Sakit banget tu. Sekarang guys ada problem dia apa tau guys. Oh nice. Fafau. Please sekarang Fafau. Sekarang. GG tu. Dah free. Lot ni tak boleh masuk dah. Kenapa tak boleh masuk Hisham? Sebab diorang kena datang daripada depan. Okay nice. Boleh masuk tu. Nice. So Yif adalah solusi. Boleh masuk guys. So Yif ada solusi dia. Diorang kena masuk terus guys. Navi kan kalau nak masuk kan jangan teragak-agak. Kena masuk macam tadi. Dia cakap macam nak masuk ke? Jangan. Nak masuk ke? Nak masuk tak? Jangan. Dia tak boleh macam tu. Dia kena kalau nak masuk guys. Masuk. Sebab Ranger dengan Zuxi ni guys, dia akan hilangkan darah korang sampai habis guys kalau korang kata agak-agak. Nice go. Nice.
But still, that was a terrific job
Wow.
by Navi MWI.
Baca kau pergi gym ke? Tak ada tu. Play lah. Ni guys, diorang kena initiate terus. Nampak tak apa jadi bila diorang initiate? Tambah pula lapu-lapu si kacip ni yang tak ada ulti ni.
how much of an advantage you have with a glue. Just zoning a
Lapu-lapu
plan
kacip
without
dulu tadi.
Kla. There just
Bagus tu,
isn't
orang kacip.
enough damage here for TLPH. And as you mentioned,
Ya.
very crucial
Guys,
mistakes
kalau korang nak lawan
for
meta
Dai
Granger
to
Zuxin kan,
face
korang kena all in
fire,
terus
not
guys.
landing any
Serius
of it
kena initiate
onto
terus.
members of Navi
Kalau
and
korang
Moat.
main tarik ulur ibarat korang cakap kiting kan. Jangan berkaiting-kaiting dengan draft Granger Zuxin guys. Kalau tidak mau nyawa anda cair. Tapi kena ada flicker lah guys. Macam glue nak masuk macam tadi kan. Kalau tak ada flicker susah. Weh. Weh. Tengok glue dia. Joy dia. Jadi dia main sorang-sorang daripada tadi.
That macro game still strong for them. The goal lead, like
Macam ni guys.
isn't really that big now. Team
Kau
Liquid
tengok
are
dia punya
actually keeping
Hilda.
their losses at the minimum.
Dia macam
It's due to the screening of Soju.
kita jalan-jalan dekat
Soju's been
taman
able
tu.
to open up the map so well for Ramisi to constantly
Tapi
stay
biasa kau
in the
nampak besar,
sidelines.
tak lah.
They know where every member is
Kalau
from
kau
Navi
tengok
Malaysia.
depan
And I
kecil
guess
je,
if
aku
we're
tak
talking about improvements,
aku
that's what Navi
masih
Malaysia needs to
struggle lah nak
improve on,
besarkan
right?
lengan.
How they can hide away from these
Aku
screening
dapat
heroes
besarkan
to
ni je.
stop the threat of a split push.
And the great
Chess.
thing about TLPH, even though they don't land most
Tak
of the
tahu
crowd
tahu
controls
ke
or
tak
clashes
Joy.
into their favor,
Asyik
but
solo
looking at the items
solo
closer,
tadi masuk
you
mati
have a
seorang
BOD
dekat
here
lot.
for Cla. They
Itulah
just
nanti kita
need
tengok dia punya
one
power
good
ni.
position
Sepatutnya
for
Joy ni dah
Hisham
sakit
for
guys.
Ramisi to
Korang
land the
tengok ni guys,
splits.
dia punya
Even
ni
for
guys.
Navi MY,
Duit
this is
sekarang
the
Joy tu.
situation now.
8,200 ya.
With that, you
Aku
have
bagi
to
tahu korang
be
aja,
really
Joy ni
careful
sakit tau
also
sekali dia
for
masuk.
here for TLPH.
Cuma
They could just go
Navi
and
tak boleh
kill
tau.
when
Kalau
Daiki
salah
uses her
masuk
opening
ni.
and that's it. That could be the shot
Tim
clear
Malaysia
for
kita ni.
Navi MY. And so far,
Baik.
and Ramisi is doing a great job onto leveling up the advantage here for the jungle to jungle comparison.
Mana boleh tanya soalan personal, tak boleh tanya. Kai, kau yang aku nak jawab ke? Aku takkan jawab soalan personal. Aku tak suka orang tanya pasal personal. Allahu Akbar. No ulti untuk Lord. Susah kan nak tangkap Joy ni sebab kita tak ada CC yang macam Chow ke. Tak boleh masuk je tu. Dia kena apa ni? Kena bagi dia yang masuk ke kita. Ni aku cakap guys. Ini yang zone control daripada Navi yang daripada Team Liquid kuat tau. So diorang kena initiate terus macam tadi. If campur glue, burst terus. Jangan bagi diorang poking tu.
What we cannot deny, the TLPH just needs one clash into their favor and that's it. Very crucial for Daiki to land
Oh
those
nice,
frames of
detail dekat
Average
situ.
Fighter.
Tapi tengok Hilda dia weh.
But, conceal play,
Nice, diorang kena
or
gas
are they
terus.
going to target?
Diorang kena gas terus. Oh Bushata tak buka. This is
This
the right moment we have to fight. Jangan balik Syah. Jangan balik Syah. Serius. Fafa dah dapat position tu. Fafa dah dapat position.
It's going to be the second lord of the round. Fafa, good hiding spot by the way.
Aduh, pandai main makro dom. Guys, tim Filipin ni pandai main makro aku cakap guys.
Not check the bushes, which is going to be kind of wild though because Soju. Oh no, she's gonna go for the aggressive route. Fafa on the back with a heavy crossbow. Ready to tackle.
Cantik doh.
From Shah. Oh, what a dodge from the bravest fighter.
Sumpah lawan dua-dua main. Wih. Macam mana kita orang tak kena bantai guys. Kita orang dekat home boss kena bantai 4-0 kan dengan home girl. Sebab diorang memang jago tu.
Rina gets a free lord yet
What
again
the
for
heck?
Malaysia.
The 3-woman mobilization miracle was just beautiful.
Jersey aku pakai ni
I
Nobody.
wish we could see an instant replay on that.
Memanggil lah.
Definitely Navi
Nanti ni.
MY.
Tapi nanti lah habiskan half zipper aku dulu. Half zipper aku guys, siapa tak? Guys, korang dah beli belum half zipper aku? Weh, kena tukar ni, aku tukar baju jap guys.
On how Shah capitalized on the space and members just close by here for DLPH. Plus Hani with the RWM. Ramisi and Kla can do nothing but stare back, especially onto what Navi MY did there. That was full on macro and micro play here. Advantage for Navi MY.
Lord up top.
Okay.
This composition is built for a siege too, so good. Bounty Shocker seems up already, zoning Ramisi away.
Macam biasa guys. Peperangan. Lapu-lapu. Nice, lapu-lapu meninggal. Gift masuk. Oh, Joy dia. Nice. Mati. Hilda dia. Hai.
Down the front, but shots just so tanky.
Sit down.
They've only just dealt with
Menang ni, menang ni.
mortality. Navi MY looking to utilize the Lord a bit more. They will get a base
Nice.
turret. And
belum lagi dah.
one in the mid lane.
Uish, Hani.
Plan here just to defend their turret, but Navi MY. Rina taking down, yes, that's hefty bounty here for TLPH.
Lapu tu asal skill satu flicker. Oh, dia buat skill satu flicker tadi.
Let's take a closer look onto Cloud. By the way, Zero dead still.
Rina buat apa tu?
Even though she
Kenapa
doesn't
kan Rina
have the
mati?
best
Tapi
KD
Rina mati
yet,
kena dengan
but you
Hilda
cannot
guys.
deny the damage,
Cik tu.
especially onto the damage the ranking. She deals a whole lot
Sit down,
more
yeah.
when she got that position. And as we
Rina
mentioned,
sit down juga ke?
she just needs someone to somehow
Rina nak tengok
take
juga
a
ke?
hold of the members of the front laners here for Navi MY. But it's just not giving right now. Even Soju targeting Rina just so they could balance out the clashes here.
Kita ada
Make it easier for
streamer
Cloud
baru
to defend.
kat sebelah. Jemputan.
Still, Navi MY
Saya punya
has
jemputan.
most of the advantage here for game 1.
Wow. Navi Malaysia.
Golin dia tak mati-mati lagi doh. Ya. Main macam tu kan. Jaga positioning tu, jaga KDA tu. Dia king of KDA ke?
Despite it all, like you said, Athena, 0 deaths. That's quite impressive. And really comes down to if she can get stacks on the Sky Piercer. Because if she gets just 2 more stacks, I'd say she's properly
Bagi mic dekat dia.
carry the game.
Jauh lah guys. Jauh tu.
We'll have to maneuver in a way where it's so tough. It's
Macam
really tough
capik
to
King KDA.
consider the win conditions right now for Team
King of sejarah.
because of how many counter picks Navi MY
Awak
have
faham
in
ke,
their
Nina?
own composition.
And this is the
Oh,
tricky thing
faham.
on why our panel was quite surprised until why the Hilda was
Baik.
put
Ush.
onto the roam. You would want more setup.
Okay, kita akan tengok pertarungan guys. Pertarungan di Lord menentukan. Tapi kalau dari segi team fight, aku rasa kita menang.
You want more time to really choke them
Lagi
out.
pula kat YT, sorry
For
doh.
Navi MY right now, they have
Kita sama
all of those criteria.
Fafa better dari fix ke Syam? Uish, soalan jangan ditanya je Jerung.
Fafa, by the way, already has a rose gold meter, so
Jangan
even
ditanya
if
doh.
Ramisi cuts her off
Can I
guard,
sit
she
down?
still has that split
Sit
second
down.
of defense just
Down
so
ke
she
tak?
could survive. And a lot can happen in a split second, right? And Fafa just hiding out, waiting for someone to take the bait or check out the purple buff. And now the Lord is being danced around by Navi and TLPH.
They gotta bait that rapid
Alright.
to give an open
Mari kita tengok. Tapi ni sakit ni, Raymond dah kena banyak ni guys. Macam tadi dah aku cakap, kena gas terus
on the map.
Tapi diorang jangan kumuk. Tengok Team Liquid dah pandai guys. Team Liquid dah pandai. Sebab apa tahu Syam? Korang tengok tak? Diorang punya positioning tu. Diorang dah tak datang sekali dah.
So many
Dari satu arah.
TLPH.
Korang perasan tak? Team Liquid dah notice. Setiap kali diorang datang satu arah, mesti diorang kena burst terus.
And now they're forced to somehow
Oh, ada percubaan untuk membantai Hilda dulu ke?
Some of the waves incoming onto the top. But right now, onto the jungle, Soju
Uish, baik tu Hilda ni bisa-bisa juga tu sebenarnya.
Here you have so many.
Wah, Raymond dah kena banyak. Fafal.
But Daiki will he go for the trade? Will she get
Nice!
that setup?
In the back, Rina still
Granger dia free. Oh, mati Granger dia. Positioning apa tu? Oh, tak mati.
She's still able to flicker
Hilda?
with the nature in the back line as well.
Siapa yang mati?
Soju!
Kita tak ada siapa yang mati. Wow! What a marvelous team fight from Ui, siapa dah punya? Asal macam nyawa kau naik macam tu tu? Nyawa apa ni? Lag Syam. YT lag Buffering.
Frontliners here for TLPH.
YT apa benda pula masalahnya weh?
For game number 1. And
Ya
so far, even
Allah,
though
jap aku tengok
Soldier's
YT jap.
doing great job into giving
YT ada problem
information, their defense just isn't enough for all the bursts that's coming from Navi MY, and now they're left to defend. Navi MY onto the defense.
Okay je guys. Aku tengok YT.
Here, if ever, ultis are also on the spot.
Oh, Rina back club buys immortality or has
Oh,
immortality.
delay.
But no.
Oh iyalah delay sebab tadi lagging sikit. Tak apa, korang tengok lah. Tak apalah, korang tengok di action aku.
The counter picks from the execution. Navi
Dah menang. YT lambat. YT lambat 10 saat sebab buffering tadi.
That was the kind of
Betul juga,
dominance that they
tapi
want
jago
to
tu, jago
show
tu.
on
Malaysia.
their play, onto their
Serius
game.
guys, Malaysia jago guys.
And Navi MY
Minta tolong
just
guys.
capitalizing on
Hashtag
their early
Navi
approach.
MY guys.
Right.
Cepat guys.
We saw glimpses
Navi
of the
MY.
Malaysian brilliance just
Gila
last
jago tu.
year.
Serius.
MWI
Jago.
with the homegirls.
Kalau korang tengok
But I think
dorang punya
Navi MY
planning
this
kan,
year
memang
have
betul-betul
taken
nampak
that
tau guys.
to a whole new
Korang boleh
level.
nampak
They
yang planning
have
Navi
literally
yang
just been
betul-betul
the team that most, I think people, most analysts
dijalankan
predicted to
dengan
win this
lebih
matchup.
bagus
Most
daripada
of the time, right?
Team
Even
Liquid,
on the
guys.
comments of her live stream, there were
Gameplaynya
doubts
lag tadi je.
on Navi MY's
Kita lajukan.
capabilities, but now
YT
another convincing performance.
Padu. Navi
under
MY guys.
day 2
Menyala.
opener.
Menyala
Now
abangku.
you see that they are heavy
Nanti kita
competitor.
dapat tengok tu
They
tau,
are
bendera
another
Malaysia tau.
full-fledged power
Korang bayangkan
in the
Navi
making
Malaysia
here.
champion.
And we're
Lepas
just
tu yang lagi seorang ke
second day on
champion
their group stage. I could
SRG
only
guys.
imagine what more they
Ke
can
Homeboys.
show.
Homeboys
Will this
champion.
be a sweep yet again?
Homeboys atau SRG champion.
Targeting and locking in onto
Obat tu, guys.
DLPH. Their path
Memang
right
bumi
now
riat ni kita
seems
punya
smooth, right? And
negara
we break it
memang dah
down for
lock
you
lah
for the
kalau macam
team
tu.
number 1. Let's
Lock,
toss it
lock.
over onto our panel.
Tengok yang stream Indo lah Cam. Tak faham lah caster English. Tak nak Jajah. Tak best tu.
Thank you very much,
Caster
Marco, as well as Athena. And even
Caster
though
orang lain.
it was a stomp, but because of the mid game, the macro coming in from Team Liquid, it was a very prolonged stomp.
Kita punya singgah sana Syam. Je. Singgah sana kita.
Like the one that really won that one was
Itu Liquid PH.
draft, right? A lot of outplays in the draft.
Ya.
really helped them
Liquid
out.
flipping guys ni.
I think when you look at it, the Eve and Valeric alone could actually stop the threat from Soju, even dying.
Mu international kan English lah. Ya. Jajah,
I
kemon
think,
lah. Kita
that's the
pergi
reason why
international
LPH
tau.
just
Bukannya kita
opted to
pergi
go for the split push.
main tournament
And
dekat
then there were
Indo.
moments
Nak dengar
wherein they wanna go for the team
nak
fight,
dengar
but it
caster
just so
Indo.
happened that you also have the glue
Kan kita
workshop.
pergi negara Arab.
Play very
Kita main
well
international.
on the
Kita
game.
kenalah rasa
Like,
vibe
doing
international
the
tu.
split
Like
against the
korang pergi
other
international.
Honestly,
International
like,
takkan
if
korang
we're just looking at
ngomongnya
basics
bahasa
here,
Indo
every
cok.
single lane,
Kan?
it's
Takkan yang
a
gitu.
lane win matchup.
Kita mestilah, hey sir, how are you? Like that.
Shin.
Fush.
And honestly, Yisun Shin against
Semua interview
Joy that
jawab
wants to
takkan
farm
bahasa
fast, but
Indo.
Yisun Shin farms
Aku
faster. It just feels like they just got a tier above. with all
pas
the
kemarin tu
Yeah, and
aku
that's probably why I think
tidurnya
even
sama
for the
kamar.
possible other option of Team
Di
Liquid
kamar, bukan sama
was to
kamar, di
gain
kamar.
a little bit of control even.
Kita ke?
There's
Kau
a
tak
Yoda
pergi
which
pun?
could definitely be a lot more,
Nanti. Aku pergi
aggressive,
nanti.
could scout a bit more.
Aku pergi
There
nanti.
could be some information here and there, but they can't do that.
Down,
And the
okay,
moment
down.
They weren't able to get the turtle. I feel like that's where
Bye.
they just accepted their fate to just rely entirely on the macro.
I just noticed Raimundo ended the game with 2-0 and 14, and she's the roam. She decided, I'm the carry now.
Yeah, there were moments wherein the ancient seed was used masterfully by
tak ada
Raimundo
pun.
here. Imagine you have players from Team Liquid, the
macam nak
PH
down.
that wants in for the dive. You have the ancient seed, and then everyone
Nampak
is just
putih ni nak?
taunted. And then the team fights.
Kau tak ikut muka kulit papa lah.
LPH and then Navi MY. they
Baik
have the
doh
ancient
guys.
seed.
Guys jangan lupa
They
follow,
have
jangan
the
lupa
Intel.
tap
And
screen
look at the hero
siapa
composition
yang belum
of
dah beli aku punya baju
There's no
waffle
really
half zipper ni?
Yeah, and I
Korang
guess
dah gaji
that's
kan
also
16 hari
why
bulan. Beli sekarang guys.
such a great
Beli
buy.
doh.
There was
Harga
no
tengah
need for
promo tu.
Mohamad
Kalau korang
to
tengok
get
dekat
the
profile aku,
Purify. There
harga
was no
daripada
need for
199 jadi
Fafal to be
129 je.
too mindful of her positioning,
Yeah.
but
Beli
still
sebelum
she
habis.
was. And there were moments
Habis
where
kisah
she
nanti habis.
literally put herself
Serious.
in hidden spots just to be the one to surprise Team Liquid because she knew that there was no one that could potentially stop her. Zaishi, the possibly only crowd control, was
Sekali je
too
kot
busy
rembat lagi. Kenapa dah Muhammad Amir?
doing other stuff.
Yeah, if we're looking at
Kim,
TLPH, they really have a
dia cakap
lot of
apa?
chase, but they don't have any kind of lockdown because when it comes to the later
Dah
stage of the
sampai?
game, you have to make the tough decision. Who do you want to target? Do you want to target the
Apa?
Eve? Do you want to target the Irithel? Do you want to target the Yisun Shin? And at late game, every one of them is a threat.
Yeah, and we saw earlier that there's a huge difference in terms of the damage dealt for the players, probably because of the way that they can initiate and actually stop or end the team fight. So we could see here the difference in terms of gold.
Not that much, honestly.
Not that much, yes, but
Padu Navy. Kalau lawan Vamos mau kena bantai Vamos.
for TLPH to win a team fight.
Ya, aku cakap
I
memang
feel like
padu Navi.
yes, they
Kan aku
have the
cakap
items
waktu
required.
jangan cakap
Even
Vamos.
for
Waktu kita orang dekat
Amarisi,
Homeboys
I
dulu pun
think
kita orang dah
it
kena
was,
bantai dengan Navi guys.
Not even half of the damage
Kalau
of
support
Macau
caster
that
kita pergilah tengok
Raisi
Malaysia.
was able to deal against
Tah,
the players of
kalau korang nak
Navi
support
MY.
caster Malaysia, pergilah tengok
No deaths
tengok Malaysia
from
guys. Aku
Ba-
streamer
the game, at least
international.
to that last push done by Navi MY, but
International.
damage,
Boleh.
they needed a way
International.
to come back,
International.
and that clearly was something they were not able to achieve just yet. So Navi MY
even with the lineup that could probably have the better late game. So that's when you know that it's
Navi
just too
tu.
tough for
Ya.
Team Liquid.
So let's go.
Baju
let's
biru
go
tu best
step
pakai,
by
tapi
step.
pakai
I wanna
dalam
talk
aircon
about
lah.
the changes that they could make, but for now,
Betul,
we're gonna look at the
undefinedness.
head-to-head of the EXP laners here.
Undefined.
Just to see
Best kan?
when an
Baju ni
EXP
memang
laner
selesa
does
lah, pakai
well,
sedap
the
je.
jungler does well as well. So
Wish,
now we're gonna
nice
look
tu,
at
dah
Shah as
sampai
well
tu
as
barang aku.
Daiki. 12 average KD against 0.33. Daiki really didn't have a great game for this one. And I don't know, did she herself make a mistake, or did Navi MY just punish her every single time?
It's just the skill set, the difference in skill set for their heroes. I think there was a time.
Yeah, that one.
perfect example. This moment, she uses the bravest fighter, and then she just realized, okay, I'll just die here anyway.
It was
Syam, kau tak nak jadi coach ke? Tak ada team lah aku nak coach. Team apa Syam, ada baju terbaru. Terbaru tak ada lagi Hazri. Tapi yang paling latest ni lah, Havzipa je.
It could only do so
Syam,
much
kau tengok English ni sebab ada orang puji kau ke kat situ?
That wouldn't guarantee that they'd be
Tak ada lah, siapa je puji aku?
yet.
Yeah, really holding the name of the ultimate bravest fighter. She really showed that she was
Yang paling
brave,
latest
but
Havzipa yang aku tengah
it came
pakai
to
ni
a
ada 3
point
colour
where
guys. Hitam,
it
biru,
becomes almost
merun.
predictable by Navi MY.
Oh, ni
It's like
cantik
we
dan hitam.
save our skills, so
Pum,
when
pum, pum,
she
pum.
dives in, we just
Pum, pum.
punish her, and that's what we saw
Sapu
in
lampu.
this game. So while we're looking at the highlights here, Chantel, what do you think TLPH
Sekejap guys
really
sementara dia
needs
ni
to
aku
adjust?
pergi
Because let's
ambil
remind
pasal aku jap.
ourselves, winner will be the first team to qualify to the knockout stage.
I believe for TLPH, this is the time we're in it. They don't really want to overcomplicate things in terms of draft. The Lapu-Lapu last pick, it's something that we didn't really expect coming from TLPH. Even the prioritization of the Hilda was somehow questionable.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it's more on the priority and their sequence of the heroes that they would choose.
Yeah, if any, there were some teams who really didn't care about the sequence, but they had plans in mind. They knew what had to be done. That was the time where I believe it was Onyx picking up that lineup,
Slowly building up,
and then we had so many questions in mind, but heading into the game, we see that they had 4 ruptures. So it was the early they were after all. But this was different because they had no direct answers. They had no clear answers to the numerous problems that we already saw coming from the draft itself.
Speaking of the draft, I kind of feel like we got to talk about this, where not all flexible picks are created equal. Because when we're looking at jungle, roam, and EXP, that's the one where there's a lot of flexibility. But not every hero is a 10 out of 10 flexible. Something like a Hilda, I would say, is only like a 2 out of 10. Like on the EXP, she's great. But in the roam, it's very conditional. So I kind of feel like for the teams prioritizing a very flexible pick, you really got to think about it. How flexible is it really?
Yeah, if they are to choose a flexible hero, they have to make sure that it will check on all the points that is needed up against a specific team, because Navi MY is also known to be a team that is good at macro, even initiating team fights. And just because I think the story behind, or the reason behind the Hilda pick was because of the YSS, but it just ticks the box against the YSS, and there's no really answer to the rest of the problems for TLPH. So too early for the Hilda. Could have been an EXP lane, or probably another EXP lane that has more to give in a team fight.
Yeah, because earlier, Navi MY felt like they already saw the immediate answer from Team Liquid Philippines, and they were just able to draft better around the Yi Sun-shin. So, I mean, the Yi Sun-shin Prio is a different story. That's a power pick nowadays. So, yeah, I believe that's also what Team Liquid Philippines definitely needs to work on.
Now I want to talk about Claw, because in that game, even though she didn't get as much kills as she got yesterday, but still, her positioning is very, very good. Now, she got the Granger early, but then eventually got countered out by the Irritel. Do you guys feel like maybe it's a good idea just to delay her pick, maybe even the 3rd pick, so that you can have the bans later on?
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because knowing that both gold laners have a larger hero pool, right? So I think, yeah, that's a good option also for TLPH, so that they can have other heroes that could actually support Kla, because Kla alone can play individually in a safer manner, wherein she's not a player that needs to be tended to.
I mean, even just yesterday, she was one of the players confident enough to bring out the Harith in like current meta, and she was able to play that relatively well. So I believe Kla also has like a multitude of options to choose from if ever they are forced to that point, which is again all about the sequence, I guess, because even the mid laners, right? We were talking about it earlier. Like, oh, it was so surprising to see all the mid laners just come in the second phase of the draft.
Yeah, Kla is amazing, but we still have to remember this is a 5v5. You need a proper support, proper peel, proper distance given to the player to be able to actually contribute into the fight. So we're going to jump into the draft very, very soon. So I kind of feel like we're all in agreement that TLPH, they can give out very amazing drafts against Navi MY, where they're known to have a larger hero pool as well. They just got to be careful not to get trapped, right? Because if there's a possible counter, then it's a possibility that Navi MY will pick it up, even the Belleric.
Yeah, we were all agreeing during the game while watching that Belleric answers everything that TLPH has. So knowing that this is the threat from Navi MY, I think for Coach Moody, since he's also a coach for MDL that has a lot of like hero
global bans,
the global bans, right? So I think this is where he could change things up coming to game number 2, or probably change the dynamics even for Kla, because I think they're focusing too much on having Kla as the center of the damage. So there's no really way for Ramisi. Yes, they had the Joy, but the Joy earlier, if stopped in terms of the jungling pattern, is just forced to go for the split push.
Yeah, and Navi MY clearly was the more successful one to do that earlier in game number 1, even despite just having the Belleric and the glue. That's so surprising in itself, because it was Team Liquid who had the Hilda, and I feel like you could just immediately associate the Hilda with disrupting so much from Navi MY supposedly, but that wasn't entirely the case.
And now we're jumping into the draft here where Team Liquid, this time they're going to be first pick, and Navi MY, they will be the second pick. So in this situation, they do have priority in actually getting some setup or win condition on for themselves, maybe even an opportunity to take away the Yisun Shin.
Yeah, Yisun Shin, good point. I think if Navi MY bans out the Yisun Shin, then there's the answer for TLPH. It means that Navi PH works around a jungler like YSS, so they would have a better idea on that. But anyway, TLPH, they're banning out the usual heroes, Farsa and Wama even. Farsa meaning they still want Kla to have somehow safer area in terms of the laning.
I am leaning towards the idea that Team Liquid Philippines might want to revert back to the more common comfort picks, similar to the Fredrins and all that, for their draft heading into game number 2. I feel like that's something more familiar to them. Also granted the bans that we have so far.
Speaking of bans, I think this game, Uranus and even Baksha will be open, and it is open. That has been a trade here for Navi MY. Okay, we ban still the Harith and have TLPH choose between those two heroes, even YSS, and then they get the better trade because Baksha, they got it, and then Uranus YSS.
It's an amazing opening. Even our draft Brigada, I started with Baxia, and I was very happy with the draft that I got. Yeah, Baxia is a very good opener, and now it comes to the question where you just don't know where this Baxia is going. Is it going EXP? Is it going roam? Is it going jungle? This is one of those heroes that, first for me, is like an 8 out of 10 in terms of flexibility. It legit can go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Never mind the YSS.
Speaking of which, this Lancelot was the one that Rina used to destroy gaming gladiators yesterday, using twice straight.
Yeah, Rina, I think, is one of the most proficient assassin junglers that we have out there.
I think I know why. I'm looking at the draft right now, and there's not too many lockdown heroes. Like the Kali is not there, the Badang is not there, and they took away the Gatot Kacha, and there's the Phobias like you predicted, and now the Moscow. So now there's more crowd control. But I wonder if this was a bait.
Okay.
Still no mages again.
Sorry, I'm surprised because I think Navi MY is trying to replicate their draft from yesterday. They have the Lancelot, Gatot, and CC for game number 1. Although Harith won't be taken here, even Farsa, so they're just changing some of the areas. But definitely, this is like their comfy or comfortable hero composition. These three.
I see. And it kind of, like, wherever the CC goes, whatever you put in the XP lane, it feels like they're happy with that matchup already.
This is a combo that happens in Malaysia a lot as well. CC as well as Gato Kacha, where CC locks people down, and then it's a free ult for the Gato. Yeah, so it's one of those very annoying things that you see in rank, and even though it's in rank, it's very much viable in professional play.
Yeah, and I think Navi, they are also still considering the idea that the Vaksha might not just be the jungler just yet, because they took out the Suyo. So maybe there is still a chance that we get to see the Fredrin I mentioned earlier, but I feel like they
Too much on the sustain
mage.
They need a lot of damage.
Yeah, they need a lot of damage, lacking on since if they are leaning towards
they're
the
banning the
sustain.
carry, so maybe
There's a chance here.
maybe because they banned the carry.
And they banned the what if it's just Alice without the Angela all over? Because they did it yesterday. That did not have the Angela beside the.
I think that's a possible route because Zetian is still open. So you could have Zetian and Alice as two final picks. So they will have equal for both physical and magic. Although too much on magic, maybe.
Like I said, no such thing. No such thing as too much magic, man. As a roamer, we need a magic resistant update. But either way, right now the final bans coming in for Team Liquid. They gotta be careful because Navi will have the priority here, and I feel like the priority is going over to the mid unless it's gonna be something very flexible. They banned out the Bruno as well, so they want to make sure that the Moskov has a good matchup. But honestly, there's still a lot of gold laners still open, even the likes of Granger,
Brody, even.
Irithel too. It's still
Irithel, yeah, in terms of mobility.
Bane.
Why not?
I mean, who knows, right? Yeah.
Oh, the last time they did meet each other though in the qualifiers, they used Bane twice in a row.
Yeah.
And we have
The Selena, the honey special. So you were talking about how TL should really go for comfort. Maybe Navi heard that as like, hey, that's a good idea.
Oh my!
You can see the smiles on their face now. And I think there's a story with the Selena of Honey, wherein even male pro players know that they shouldn't give her.
Yeah, they're
Selena.
like, ban it out. Don't let her have that Selena. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna be an option. But now Team Liquid Philippines, they still have chances to find a way to work around this. If I were the Fredrin in this situation, though, I would feel bad. Like they're
I would be like, are you sure, coach? I mean, I don't mind being a punching bag,
but maybe not anymore. Okay,
yeah, so the Hayabusa and the Zitian.
Okay.
Maybe there was a switch on a TLPH side. I think they were really looking forward to have a sustained
they probably
jungle.
were.
But then again, they saw that Selena and it is Honey that is using it. So, Hayabusa is a good option here, or a nice choice for TLPH rather than having sustain. It's just that the only target for the Hayabusa mid transition into late game is gonna be the Selena and probably the gold laner of Navi MY, because you can't really burst out a CZ as early as possible. Gatot, even if the Lancelot can escape.
Yeah, not unless the laning goes well for Zai, I guess. I mean for Daiki. But they wrap it up with the Granger, and yeah, because the Lancelot, there's too many iframes, so might not be the best option. But let's see how it goes. For
Yeah, right now we can definitely see for Navi MY there is a lot of burst and a lot of control here. So TL, they really have their work cut out for them. I want to see how fast they rotate. So thank you very much, Chantel, as well as Brigida. But now it's time for me to pass it over to Mirko and Athena to continue on casting the second game in the series. We'll see. Will it be a 2-0?
Thank you, Lafel, Chantal, and Brigida. And now, it's going to be the Battle of Redemption versus the dominance of Navi MY for game number 2. Let's head on over onto the Land of Dawn. It's me, Athena. Together with me is Mirko. What can you say about that draft, Mirko? Specifically eyeing out a certain hero here for Navi MY.
Right now, all I can say is choo-choo, because it's a train, Navi. They've literally built themselves a train. Now, it depends what kind of train they want. If they get a snowball early, this is going to be a bullet train. It'll be going through the map, super fast. But if they fall behind, this is going to be one of the trains that actually, gets derailed real quick. TLPH have a pretty okay composition to hold back, to weather the storm. It really just comes down to if Navi Malaysia, again, get that snowball early. Because, yeah, this composition is kind of nasty if they do get a snowball.
So in short, TLPH needs to find a way to derail this bullet train. I do believe it's going to be a bullet train, especially with what Hani is doing. And as Chantal have mentioned, even most pro players, men pro players, bans out the Selena here for Hani. I was just supposed to say Hani for Selena. But still, you're on the mid lane. Early skirmishes here for Soldier and Ramisi.
The taunt over. Oh, first blood already for Rina. And hey, Athena, I just had a conversation with Rose outside of the talent lounge. She was already hopping out Rina. She's like, yeah, Rina, she's an upgrade here for Navi MY. Like, if she was there from last year, they would have beat Smart Omega Empresses. So, hey, shout out to Rose.
Yeah, and definitely we're seeing it. First blood, plus yesterday, they totally destroyed, am I right? GG with this Lancelot. Sweep with Rina's Lancelot, right? And now with Hani playing on to the Selena. Yet again, game 2 Selena here for Hani. They just want to go for the sweep here. Navi MY definitely for TLPH needs to watch out. They need to watch out for their tempo here. Crucial crowd controls here for Zaishi, even the ultimate as well with a Fury of Phoenix. But right now for Navi MY, fast-paced action here. Rotation on the first turtle. Soju getting hit hard.
Abyssal Arrow landing too. Massive stun coming down to the back as well. But now look at Daiki with the Infernal Pursuit. Ramisi gets a kill back. 2-1. Navi Malaysia caught in a tough spot. That's the power of the Phobias early during turtle takes.
That's what you want for Daiki. Even though she doesn't land the Infernal Pursuit, but the Dark Wave really matters. Just so she could just zone him out, slow him down. Rina taken down here. Daiki just regaining some of her confidence from game 1's Lapu Lapu.
Yeah, and it could also just be a rare case or a very, very common case of a caster curse. Right as we compliment Rina, we get to see a death.
Maybe it's a mere curse.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what? My bad. Lafel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I cursed the girls, man.
And even Rose.
And I'm
you
sorry,
have
guys.
to say sorry.
I'm sorry. Both teams are equally good.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want, we won't say their names, but we have to.
Yeah.
We really have to. And going back here for TLPH, regaining some of those accomplishments on the dominance, and even Cladger just picking off a hero which have much freedom that she needs in terms of positioning, and of course, if she is needed under a certain clash with a Sphere of Destruction. But right now, onto the farming. What's up? Is it going onto the favor of Ramisi right now?
I think so far it's actually quite even still between the junglers, right? Like, Ramisi has a level lead, I think mainly just because of the neutral objective take. So, Rina should be able to even it out a bit more. It comes down to turtle number 2, I'd say. Like, that's going to be the real determining neutral objective to see who actually will get the massive advantage. Because once Ramisi gets it, if she gets it, that's going to be a big lead.
But actually, for TLPH, they ain't scared of this Selena, right? They just open it up even for the drop for game 1. Wait a second. Did we see the right? The flicker here for Fafao this early.
Yeah, a bit of panic there, definitely. Seeing Kla walk up aggressively on the Moscow.
Yeah.
Definitely strange, you know? You won't expect a weak side laner to be walking up aggressively. And turns out it was right. She was right. Ramisi was around the corner. It's just, was it too early to show that flicker to pop it out? Now Navi Malaysia in the struggle. Phobias already rotating the turtle.
Okay, going to be set up here. Further pursuit activated. Dark Wave is also there. Just getting a lot of damages in here. Sphere of Destruction hitting no one.
With AOG, look for the ult as well. Oh, Zaichi picks up the kill as Rina jumps in with a puncture. Fafao gonna be caught in the back now. Goes into the Rat City, but Remen gets Spear of Misery pinned down to the wall. Rina gets a kill back from Ramisi. It's gonna go for the poke on Rose, but gets caught by the Shurikens. And Team Liquid continue that early lead and now capitalize on it. 2,000 gold lead up.
Fled onto the second turtle. Might be the deal setter here for their junglers, but not only that, also onto the laning. Just Wow, for Team Liquid, a very nice layer there for Daiki and as well as Soju right there. But let's take a closer look here onto our instant replay. The jump cut from Daiki. We understand that Raymond has to go for the AOG, but what they didn't expect was the damage here being layered properly by TLPH.
Uh-oh. An attempt from Daiki, good zoning. Gets the job done. Daiki walks back up.
Oh,
very aggressively.
that is nice. But shades up as well. Like, she's looking at them eye to eye like, what you gonna do? You should just back away now, girl. You don't have the flicker. But for Team Liquid, that is the kind of swag that we want. And now they have a huge lead. That's 3.4k gold lead right now. 5 or 6 minutes into the game. Navi MI still has a chance. You cannot eliminate the fact that this is one of the best picks for Hani.
Yep.
Still stable here by the 003 KDA. But looking at the gold difference, all of it is in favor of all the roles here or lane for Team Liquid.
Oh, yeah. So far, this train has looked kind of derailed, you know? Team Liquid has done a good job weathering the storm, actually utilizing the storm to their advantage.
Exactly.
They've been winning the early game, a 3,000 gold lead. Really good abyssal arrows from Hani, but there's just not much they can do with it, right? Like, every time it lands, it's just poke. They can't all in onto Soju. They can't all in onto Daiki. And the Phobius gets actually quite a bit of value whenever the Selena walks up. You get those stacks or that the passive even faster.
And that's just what she wants exactly, right? And for Navi MY, they know that also. That's why they're just continually finding a way to reach somehow Zaishir and even Ramisi. But Ramisi is someone that you wouldn't want to waste so many resources at, right? And for Navi MY, they need to balance out some of the lanes because for TLPH, even though nothing is happening yet, look at the top lane. There's just Glad doing her job. And now last turtle of the round, Soju on the front line and 1v1 on the gold.
SOD into the front as well. Good flicker out from Fafao. Okay. Looking for an angle to go for a tier 2 and be following with the turtle as well. Now Rina trying to go for the steal on the turtle. Redmond able to get away with the top, but now it's gonna be the vengeance popped in. Shot brought back by the dark wave, and Zaishi gets the killing spree. Abyssal arrow landing, but it's only onto Daiki. The orange buff. An attempt to take it away. Clock gets it. The Rose and the phantom execution in the front. AOG. They try to save her. Clock gets away with the help of Daiki.
What a move here for Kla. Definitely want to go for the flawless record yet again. And for TLPH, they're just doing it. They're just sticking together. So even though an arrow, abyssal trap hits, Hani has no choice but to just back away. They couldn't just dive in straight ahead here for TLPH, and now they're just fully utilizing the advantage that they got, and Kla doing a great job yet again onto pushing off the initiator and on the bottom side. Hani going in. Oh no!
4-member Sun, the pin down, and the shredding shots coming in for the Moskov Claw.
Ramisi and Rina.
1v1 up top. Ramisi gets the better of Rina, but Rina is able to get away, just barely. Luckily, they still had the Holy Defense down below, but they're not going to have a tier 2 for any longer.
Yeah, and a bit of a struggle here to put some stacks onto Fafao's Sky Piercer, by the way. And looking at the trio here, Trinity rather, here for class itemization. Beautiful build, by the way, DHS onto the third. Meanwhile, a huge power struggle here onto the mid laners. We couldn't fill the damage yet for Hani. And prioritizing, of course, the Enchanted Talisman for the City Reduct. But as we could see, even though she's landing perfectly onto the arrows, they just couldn't burst down anyone yet from Team Liquid.
Yeah, that's a 2,000 gold lead between the gold laners. Like you said, the 3-item power spike. And it's just strange to see, right? Because usually you would see this lead on a Granger, especially at this point of the game.
Yep.
It's a Granger that has to go for a trade with Redmond protecting her. Free neutral objective, and it's a big one. The SOD gets shot down. Redmond's recall gets cancelled. Oh, she takes it too. Just gets a free teleport down below to manage the waves and to go in for a 3-way push. Great shield unity to dodge away from the abyssal arrow too. And Navi Malaysia, hey, this is a big concern. Their wave clear is not really good.
Yeah, and definitely it will be a hard defense if ever, because Team Liquid is just capitalizing with the clearing of each and every lane. They want it onto the same time. The Lord marches onto the top side. So most probably Navi MY needs to rethink. They know who to target, but right now it's not really giving. And right now onto the mid lane, we have Soldier with Shield Unity. Sha as well is really struggling.
Oh my god!
And
One
Hani!
Shadow kill the back as an assassination on the mid and the goal.
Mak, beli anak VIP tu, spammer.
Shadow kill.
Kapre.
Claw having a blast out.
Asal kalah tu?
Piercing through the HP bars of Navi and
Wih.
Okay, they're continuing.
Kalah
Soju just roaring around.
Asal suara delay jap.
Navi
YT
MY
jap.
left to defend for the crystal.
Dah laju kan ni?
Saishi onto the top lane. They don't want any
Asal
idle
tengah kalah,
moments
guys,
here for TLPH.
Sorry guys, aku sakit perut guys tadi.
They want to do everything as fast as they can.
Ui, kena bantai,
and
weh.
now 4 members in. Soju on the bottom side. Rina getting hit out. AOJ.
Wih, Hani punya Selina kalah. Sebahaya dia, Hisham. Bahaya dia. Zon nanti laki pun pakai global ban. Sebab kau tak tengok jam. Yulo, sorry tu guys. Aku tak tengok tu guys game ni. Oi, Rina. Rina punya lane slot weh.
And Ramisi cleans up in the back. Wow, Navi Malaysia stuck now under the crystal. The missile arrow goes wide as a pin down on
No, kau.
Claw as she goes in for more piercing shots onto Rina, onto Shah. That's a double for Claw and the crystal.
GG, easy game.
And that's going to be
Macam tu je guys. Game kedua. Hai, sorry tu guys. Aku tak tengok lah game ni. Diorang tak dapat guys aura daripada aku. Spirit.
The series on to a game number 3. What?
Mak bantai guys. Betul lah aku cakap guys, 2-1 betul kan? Aku cakap. Betul tu prediction aku 2-1, tapi jangan risau guys. Game ketiga ni aku tengok. Game ketiga ni kita akan tengok. Jangan risau Kita dah tahu dah puncanya.
That was so different and I think it has
Draft kalah macam oi.
because
Draft kalah tu. Apa jadi? Aku rewind jap dekat YT. Sekejap guys, YT aku nak rewind jap. Kita tengok sikit early game. Early game okey. YT.
Do that too, right? Like they're even in game Asia, TL were able to recover a lot of times. They were able to
hello.
stay even
Right,
in the mid game.
You Hisham iklan pun kau kena tengok juga, jangan skip. Janganlah. Long hair versus hijab, Pakcik ambil pasal macam kat rumah jiran. Dia lama tadi guys. Dia suruh aku tumpang berak sekali. Sekejap aku nak tengok jap dekat YT kita draft lemah Kita tengok pasal draft luar. Okay, draft dia pakai Selina, Cici, Gatot, Lancelot. Hero dah kena dah. Uish, tapi Hayabusa Zitian dia. Hayabusa Zitian.
Prior to this game. But yeah,
Di game Navi dah menang-menang dah, dah bantai dah.
Against
tapi okey je diorang punya draft ni. Lawannya Hayat, cuma lawan diorang single target lah Navi ni. Navi ni banyak single target. Pobis kacau. Dah agak dah Pobis ni memang semak sikit guys.
Ramichi, she really
Siapa yang nak bunuh
She was like, okay,
Pobis ni guys.
let me stay quiet for this
Burstnya
one and let me just execute. And she executed so many people.
hence the smile earlier that we saw. And yup, for Team Liquid Philippines here, in terms of the drafting, better like structure. I mean, everything is on point, including a hero that could be up front.
Rina mati macam tu je.
Surprisingly for Kla, or I think for Kla, she's just surprising everyone that she can do very good performance with any hero. So even Ramichi here.
Syah, global ban ke? Mana ada? Global ban ke guys?
Different against the Joy earlier, but it
Ni kalau menang qualify playoff terus ke? Ya.
if they are on the lead early game or if they are
Diorang harapkan lele je. Setupnya susah betul juga. Lancelotnya tak ada, diorang tak ada ni lah. Clean up lah. Clean up ada. Pemula. Kalau Selina tak kena susah sikit lah. Cici Gatot Tapi ni combo Cici Gatot kan kalau korang nak tahu diorang main ni.
Jumping in and contributing to the engages that they can start off with. through the abyssal arrow, but even the casters
tak global
highlight-
ban lah sebab semalam
even when the arrow
semalam
lands,
Rina
like,
pakai
it
2
doesn't
kali
make that
Lancelot
much of a
guys.
difference. You're
Mana
too-
ada global ban?
You're not as confident to go in.
I kind of feel like we almost have to rewind the game all the way from the first 3 minutes, where earlier on even Rina was killed.
Hani season hunter je guys. Selina memang season hunter. Korang jangan pelik guys. Selina memang pakai season hunter.
Rina popped off yesterday, so just make sure that she doesn't get to do that again and let Ramichi do her thing. And sounds like a very simple game plan, but very effective.
Ya, Gatot Cici ni combo biasa kan? Gatot Cici ni combo biasa orang main. Cuma Selina pick tu questionless lah.
Just to somehow limit
So
the
dia pick
physical
Selina untuk
abilities
siapa
and
ni?
even, some of,
Combo dengan
the
siapa
factors in the
Tak ada
game.
combo pun
And if we
dengan
look at the
Gatot.
goal difference, it's just
Masalahnya
really
lawan
Team
Povius
Liquid,
ni lah. Susah
Philippines
Selina nak main kat
winning
sini.
majority
Lawan
of,
Povius sama
the
Hayabusa.
resource taking. So there was a lot of a difference in terms of the itemization
Gila
or
Povius
the
yang
items
masuk
that they
macam
got.
orang gila
Even
guys.
on the map control, very evident here for
Harimau tu benda.
I saw 3,000,
irritate.
almost 3,000 goal difference between
Cici
the
Gatot dah
Hayabusa
okey dah.
as well as
Cuma
the
Selina tu
Lancelot
patut ganti
here. So,
Laila guys tadi.
yeah, honestly, a very
Okey lah.
fast
Patut ganti Laila
voting
tadi, okey dah
reactions
tadi
coming in
draft
from
ni.
Team Liquid. It's like, yeah, we lost game number 1, but don't let it
Oi, kena
discourage
bantai
us.
tu Navi
Just
MY.
do better, and that's what they did. They did better.
Yeah, this is a game where Team Liquid definitely felt a lot more comfortable.
Better Loi lah. Loi pun sedap lah. Betul-betul.
Because game number 1, the way they drafted that, again, knowing fully well what they were getting themselves into, it really looked
bantai lah.
uncomfortable for a Team Liquid.
Pembantaian
But
lah,
this
guys.
time around, even with the sudden need to switch things up,
Jazallahu anna Sayyidana Muhammadan Sayyidana
Saya kira Taiju, tapi Taiju dekat TikTok orang tak nampak tu. Rupanya aku tak setting.
Probably for Coach Aish.
Wait tu. Terima kasih Taiju.
Number 3, I think the Gatot is
Tu Taiju apa tadi, Taiju,
to be picked
Tu
as
Ziki ke?
early as the second or the
Ziki apa
second
tadi tu?
two picks, because it was their pattern from yesterday, even the Lancelot, so they could actually have an X Factor type of sequencing in terms of their pickings of the hero. Yep.
And we saw how Ramichi really popped off in this
Itulah
game.
hero
let's
power dekat
actually
rank
look
tak
at
apa
the
ha.
jungle
Selawat. Oh,
difference
faham
here,
faham.
because again, looking actually surprisingly, average KDA is not that much, but if we look at damage per minute, now that's where it really made the difference, where I kind of feel like Rina couldn't even enter the team fight compared to
Oh,
Ramichi.
Fasha kena ban.
Even
Faham?
a few times where she did try, those were the moments Team Liquid were already grouped up, so they had ways to answer back immediately. Even just a simple, well-timed dark
Loi,
wave
Loi.
coming in from Daiki
Loi boleh guys.
already denied
Kalau nak combat,
Rina
combo-combo
of
kan,
whatever
Loi boleh.
tempo she wanted to set,
Kimi
through
Kimi
the-
pun boleh
through
kat
the
kalau nak main.
punches, through
Kimi
the
ban
combos. So that
Tapi macam ni Kimi
already
ban
was
eh.
enough. We barely saw Rina actually pose a threat to Team Liquid in this game.
Yeah, I think the only time that there was an actual damage or actual threat from Arena was when the moment they were trying to defend their base, and it's not advisable knowing that you have 2 heroes from TLPH that could actually dive. And all in all, for TLPH here, Ramiji, yes, was in the zone, just like diving at the back lanes of a Navi MY. So if you're Hani and even Falfao, there's always a threat. Hey, maybe
Boleh
Ramiji is
start
gonna
training
be
untuk
here
season depan.
anytime soon.
Belum
So there is a
belum tahu
disruption
lagi guys.
already in the
Rezo.
pattern, like their formation and defense
Kasihnya
and even
bulan depan tu.
offense. So yeah, I think that's about it for TLPH. Ramisi just had a great time with 303 in the early stages of the game, and even securing majority of the objectives because also of Daiki's and even another sustained hero.
Yeah, somehow
Kimi
this
ban.
series, it's
Kalau
proving
situ
to be
ada Loi je.
somehow a battle of the draft.
Yeah. I would agree.
The way that there's been such a big difference between the draft.
Okay, ketiga ni kena draft kena cantik ni. Jangan lepas saya lah kalau nak main Selina. Nak main Lancelot lagi jangan bagi ni je. Povius je. Boleh ban Povius ni bagi aku. Aku rasa orang lagi seram dengan Povius ni.
Kinda limited the flex options for Navi MY, and now it's them who somehow struggled because they actually wrapped out the
Povius
first
ni
phase
rosak
of the
banget
CG.
dah.
So it's very clear where these
very
heroes are
honest.
going.
Yeah, and now this is our first 3-game series, courtesy of the both of you. Thank you very much, by the way. And I think this deserves to be the qualifying match to go to the knockout stage. And I would say for both games, it does feel one-sided for Navi MY in game number 1, and game number 2 was for Team Liquid. So in terms of how strong they feel, I kind of feel like at this point, like you guys said, draft, yes, but also kind of subjective. But if I were to lean towards, I would lean towards a little bit towards Team Liquid, because even in game number 1, when it was clear like the draft wasn't in their favor, they were able to hold out long enough and potentially even won that one.
Yeah, I would agree on that. I think it was stretched. Game number 1, we have the split pushing capability with the heroes. I think it's something that we could see on game number 3, not unless there is a specific strategy for
Ayah dia macam kau lah, Syam. Thank you,
that could go for the snowball.
Yeah, because Team Liquid
Aduh, Navi MY, let's go lah Navi MY.
And Navi MY clearly have to find a way to, just the same way Team Liquid did it in game number 2, maintain that if they get it in game number 3.
And now we have a quote coming in from Rina. Of course, we prepared something special for the match against Team Liquid. Just look forward to it. Most people know me for playing assassins, but who knows? I might pull out a fighter or tank jungler. You'll have to wait and see. Well, if we have to see, we gotta see in game number 3, because this is literally the last opportunity they have for any kind of surprises.
Zul patut jadi coach. Coach tim untuk tim apa ya?
Yesterday, I was talking to
tengah fight lah Syam.
like an Indonesian talent, right? And I was asking her, how familiar do you
Apa ni nak start dah ni? Game ketiga ni.
Non-assassin junglers. And her only
Pergi
response
kita layan ni jap. Aku layan game Navi ni je guys. Lepas tu aku end stream.
It's not the same way we know her to play assassin.
Kita layan ni je.
That Navi MY, specifically Rina, really prepared, or
could be,
A
or maybe
real jungle.
Yeah. Why not? maybe possible. So yeah, I think it's something that Team Liquid Philippines has to be prepared, but knowing that they could also do that, it all boils down again. It all falls to the idea that they shouldn't really prioritize heroes that will limit the flexibility or versatility of their hero composition.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you really change that, you're changing the identity of Navi MY, where the win condition for them is Rina as well as Fafao. So if Rina is using someone to really support, either a fighter or a tank, then you have to have a second win condition, which logically speaking, it has to be Honey. And at that point, like, again, like, it's a good idea. We've seen plenty of teams having mid as well as gold to be the win condition, but that's one of those things that you really have to practice before putting it into play in a $500,000 championship.
For Hani though, in I think the most recent tournament we saw her, again, it's been the Selena, which has been her go-to pick, and then following that was the Kimmy. But nowadays, the Kimmy in the mid isn't that often.
It's like
it's always banned. To be fair, it's always banned.
Yeah. So let's see if Hani does have other plans in mind, because as of now, Badang and Moscow immediately taken out for Navi. What could be the priority here?
Yeah, and same question goes to TOPH, right? Because they actually switched things up. They banned out a different hero. Both Uranus and Baxter was opened game number 2, remember?
Yeah.
So I think they will give again the YSS, if not Zetian.
But that's these that's the Farsas, the Zetians open.
Yeah.
So
but they banned out the Farsa. Okay, so the question here is, since TLPH lost against the YSS of Arena game number 1, if they ban it out, then the left open heroes would be
Kimi? Kimi is open.
You just mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
What?
Why not Kimi?
Yeah, Kimi is open, and the Baxia got banned as well. You just have to be careful of Ramichi because her assassins are good.
Yeah, I think that's a trade. We open up the YSS, we get the Kimi, because yesterday TLPH played well with the Kimi. And also it means that in terms of early game, they have high deep in okay.
But they got the Kimi.
They got the Kimi. Let's give YSS to TLPH. So TLPH, they have the option to go Arlot and YSS.
Yeah.
If not
Or
other
Arlot and
Focus.
I think
too much.
I think they actually want them to take the Yisun Shin, because like I said, like having the Kimi going up against something like a Hayabusa, Lance Rolling, that's much scarier.
Yeah.
Like Yisun Shin is an amazing hero, but at least the Kimi feels fine. But this does come back to our topic just now, where if you do want to put a tank or a fighter in the jungle, someone else has to carry. So now maybe they're good on their word. Maybe Rena's gonna show something else.
And they go for the Gatot Kacha instead, which
This is a classic Acercus. You say don't, and then they're like, actually, wait, did she say do or don't?
Even yesterday, I wasn't proud when I suggested the Harith, but there was a Harith.
You weren't proud of it, but hey, you were correct.
Anyway.
okay, so they went against our advice and picked up the Gatot Kacha.
I think Phobius is a good answer here for Navi MY. But it depends on the early game of the YSS. Probably a glue still could be a nice
I don't know.
option.
I feel like Akai Arlit, Fredrin Arlit.
Akai Arlot.
Yeah, that would be pretty good too. Yeah.
How can we forget the best duo in this tournament?
Because we don't like Akai. Hasn't really shown up yesterday. Hopefully today's different.
Not unless the surprise Rena's been talking about was
Okay,
never
not he
mind.
lied.
Now, never mind.
Just like Mirko said, you kind of have to lie every once in a while just to throw your opponents off guard.
He still went for the Lancelot, okay, but not at around the same time where they did earlier.
Yeah.
Now they have sort of a clearer picture as of what may go on to Team Liquid Philippines. But with this, could the CC be a possibility for Team
Let's
Liquid
go!
at this point?
Game
So
ketiga.
they have direct
So
answers.
just did what Navi MY
Game
did,
terakhir
what you did.
untuk Buat apa Hisham? Kenapa guys?
The exact same.
Korang dengar ke tadi?
Yeah.
Is it-
Tum tum
yeah.
tum 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 tum.
Okay, so more on control actually for TLPH. It's
Mari kita
just
tengok
that
game
I think
ketiga.
they need
Draft
one
pick.
more
Oh,
hero
nanti tengok, guys.
to be upfront
Dia masih lagi kali ni.
because
Oh,
you
kali ni
can't
dia ambil
really
Phobius, guys.
rely on Gatot alone.
Oh, draft kita sedap,
in
draft kita
terms
sedap, guys.
of doing the initiation.
Kimi,
Okay,
Phobius,
so,
Lancelot ni sedap.
You have the assassin.
Woi, Rina memang spam Lancelot only ah, guys. Aku rasa.
MY. You can ban out the other EXP laners now for TLPH just to limit the possibility. I'm not sure if boss 5 Phobius is an option or it is viable. But
Satu sama ke ni? Tengah satu sama, guys.
Or probably more on the marksman. Here's Granger, Irithel, something
Ni
like
ada
that.
harapan
because
siap penuh.
we don't have-
Stun, you.
There is the Granger ban, so they're limiting the golden. But there's a high chance actually for Navi MY to go have
Tapi ZT korang tak suka ZT guys.
gold lane
Kita kuat
Never mind.
Okay, they ban. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Why is it every time you say something, it just
They ban.
like goes the opposite way? But they took.
Season depan masuk tim mana?
Just wait
Rahsia.
to get a
Selamat
higher
petang.
My time will come.
There's a time when a
Petang, guys.
caster matures and they get it wrong every single time.
I must say, Esmeralda now.
If it pops out,
That's intentional.
Hi.
Wait, I mean, who knows, right?
Sit
The
down.
ban on the Ruby is pretty interesting.
I thought they are the ones to get
Yeah, because
Ruby actually because they have Kimi as the mid lane. They have the option to
I
go.
mean, we assume
No.
he's going to the mid, right?
Yeah.
Now that's a flex. He can go mid. He can go mid.
No.
Don't assume.
No.
okay, they take out the Irithel though.
Ganggu wah ulti Zitian. Tapi you guys, ulti Zitian
I
yang
think for Navi
OP
MY,
bagi aku lah.
they
Paling
can
OP
get
ulti
Glue.
dia, which is
Glue, yes.
in
Glue.
team fight kan. Dia punya range tu besar
Also,
sangat. So boleh
Take the
boleh
dash.
kena.
No, I mean like for
Apa?
Team Liquid. So like ban out the
okay.
glue so that Team Liquid doesn't get the glue. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Not unless they have another surprise ban to show us here.
Okay. What's the surprise? Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. No, I'm
Alright.
just kidding. Maybe the Lapu might not come out again, considering the draft right now.
And the C.
So
Okay.
they took out the CC instead.
For Navi MY, they're just focusing on having winning lanes.
Yep.
Particularly for the EXP lane.
Ui, apa tu? Banyak.
I think for that's the science between
Yang
the
sticker tu?
Ruby ban. Also just for the sake of not having someone stop even
Best of
the
apa? Best of
Lancelot,
3?
and even the
Sekejap, ini
Phobius
kalau kalah macam
early
mana
lane. So now for
Tak lepas play off
you have
Ke boleh lawan lagi?
Because he's been banned out for 2 games. And we saw Kla use it yesterday. Again,
Hi.
not the best of performance, but
MWI.
if you
It's
look
still
at
there, yeah.
if we look at the gold lane, it's really starting to get chopped down in terms of the options.
It looks good together with the Zetian and the
Down.
Never mind.
Nak kick down.
So this
I
is the
think
classic
they saw that there's a Phobius on the other side, and even the Lance. Although when we say Lancelot, it's a lot easier for the Lancelot to target the carry and even the YSS. So it all
Oh, dia
depends
top
on
2.
the other
Top 2 dalam
frontline
group dapat
of a
pergi ke
TLPH.
playoff.
So you have the Phobias. The EX players are kind of limited. I'm not sure if they will take the Rizla on this game. It's gonna be hard. Not unless Mathilda Phobias combo, but I don't see the advantage having Mathilda with.
I mean, now that you say it, they might go for it.
No.
Right?
Kalah lower Oh, dia macam play off kan.
Mathilda Kimi is
Dia
nice.
apa lower.
Yeah, it can be.
Menang ni terus gas.
There's a carry, so they
Ui,
have to
main
worry
Akai guys.
about the potential
There's the
stress.
Akai.
Akai Harit. Ui, baik.
So
Kenapa dia orang suka pakai carry
It's just a little bit too early.
Yeah.
Now they come out.
And for the different
Kenapa pick carry?
And for the different team. Yeah. We were actually drafting for the other one.
Yeah.
You guys were just tricked, you know?
Okay.
Now EXP.
Pos 5.
Or the
Aku rasa boleh Esme ni.
They're pos
Boss
5.
5.
Boleh jadi Esmeralda
I'm
ni.
actually thinking Gatot Rome here.
Banyak kan ni dapat shield ni.
Because the glue is still there, and I kind of feel like it's still okay to lock down some targets. Because even if you think it's hard to go for the Lancelot, just wait for all the dashes and then just pull him back in.
Glue.
What if they get
Minotaur.
the Minotaur?
Gatot EXP.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually like this.
I like it too. The
You guys say you like it, but for who?
Tengok bahasa Melayu Syam, tak nak. Bosan.
So you guys
Bukan
like Team Liquid?
caster bosan. Yang bosannya dia
You know
punya
I gotta say,
setup
I
guys.
did not see that one coming. I think Mirko as well as Citrina didn't see that one coming. That both our panel
Akai
really like Team
Akai untuk
Liquid,
kacau
but
Gatot
hey,
masuk.
I'm gonna ask you guys. Who do you guys think is gonna win this one?
For this round, I do.
Tapi draft kita aku suka lah. Aku suka lagi draft kita. Draft kita lagi kuat guys. Berdasarkan draft, supposedly draft kita lagi banyak damage, lagi sedap main lah.
Team Liquid Philippines,
Careful,
but
nanti
Mirko
jatuh. Nak down ke?
talking about the lineups here and the
Nak down?
Minotaur being shown
No,
for
okay.
TLPH. Thoughts on this one?
Mina counter Akai betul. Mina counter
I don't
Akai
think
guys.
you want my answer.
Sekarang ni
I answered last game.
kita kena main glowing one terus.
Okay.
Both have
Minotaur
equally
ni
strong drafts.
My
tak suka ni guys.
mistake.
Minotaur ni tak best ni.
Both strong, especially onto the early game.
Oh yeah.
Minotaur ni tak best ni kalau dia punya heal sekejap lagi ni.
Wow.
What is that? What colour?
There were some adjustments
Pink, yeah.
and heroes that are new to our eyes.
Diorang main
Even
AOE guys.
Akai
Kalau
was
korang perasan Team
picked
Liquid punya team fight ni
certain times yesterday,
betul-betul
we could see
bergantung
it
kepada
rise,
ulti
but
je
I
lagi.
like it better here
Mino
on the
ulti,
Yeah, especially when
Zitian
you have
ulti.
competition like this, right, with the Kimmy as well in the middle.
Diorang main protect president ni.
And it's great if you have someone to peel, but for the most part, especially in the jungle, I'm not a fan of the panda. I'm sorry, right, to all the panda lovers out there.
But we said it, right?
We said
Akai
it.
jungle
we
eh.
said
Eh,
it.
Akai tank eh.
Got your panda lovers, but in the middle
Nice,
lane so
nice,
far,
nice.
yeah,
Poking,
Hani's been
poking.
able to do a good job. Zaishi
Ready.
flings
Ada
him
heal.
away, body slam forward. Oh, there you go.
Tom.
Hani getting some damage back sent towards her. Let's take a look at the emblems.
Okay, well, checking on this one, of course, you have the concussive blast here for Raymond. You want the extra layer
Down.
as well.
Wow.
And usually, though, you would want to disrupt the whole plan here for Team Liquid. Even with Zaishi's ultimate, you could just, time
Kita
to
punya
go
draft
for
sedap
next
guys.
win. And
Main
for
team
that
fight lagi.
round as well for TLPH,
Ada Povius.
counterpart get the
Oh,
catch there.
ada
But hold on,
Kimi, ada Harit. Sedap lah kita. Team fight. Turtle ni kita kuat ni.
The regen gets cancelled by the synchro vision too, so she's gonna have a lot of problems now in the lane.
Zitian.
We see
Mak Zitian kuat weh.
that push. And Hani walks up. This could be a
Down,
free kill.
down,
Bounty shocker
careful.
up and
Tinggi dah tu awak
available.
ni.
But yeah, Hani's a bit too smart for
Okay.
that. Stays away from the
Kenapa Mino counter Akai Syam? Dia boleh ulti waktu Akai ulti guys. So maknanya Akai bila dia kepit orang kan. So Mino boleh jadi counter setup. Ush. Baik weh Ramichi. Aduh tak ada vision tu kat situ.
Honey walked up way too honest. Like LaFell said, you gotta
Dapat ni,
lie.
dapat Garina ni.
Hasn't lied so far. Nothing new. Just with the Lancelot now. Double man. Dark wave shot.
Dapat Kapovis.
That's a massive
Dino, yeah.
CC tool to bring them all back. Shots caught all alone. Has the dark wave gets everyone
Ini
on
fight
it.
ni.
And will be
Ui.
able to walk out with the win.
Baik Dosha.
Wow! And that's how you play
Terbaik tu, Syah.
Causing phobia here for
Wow.
TLPH. Yeah, you got advantage for the
Bangun-bangun
first
dia anak
one
aku
here
ni.
for BC. But who's the queen now? First turtle stolen.
Down.
And then plus follows here by Shaw. Just
Up,
solely
up,
dominating three
up.
members here from TLPH.
Wait,
Let's take a closer look here on their
Kita
instant
tengok kat
phase
camera.
where He's just getting ready with a dark
Ah, tu.
wave, and
Dia
then
Nina
there
lah.
goes the infernal pursuit. Not only that, getting a kill plus a turtle. So much riz here for Sha.
Down.
This Fury already used up Thorn Rose live camping. We see Clark struggling. Remen, the assassin in the back, is now
mati lagi, guys.
traceless
One
from
for one.
Risi.
Rina mati kat sini.
Closer, but Hani is able to escape as Remen takes the long way around the enemy jungle to escape.
Down.
Mid lane though. Oh, this turret is gonna take a beating from Nisi and Zaishi.
Definitely going to be somewhat capitalized on by Zaishi and Ramisi. Remen here, go for the battle slum. But still, we have to talk about action-packed clashes here happening each minute for Navi MY and Team Liquid. 2 to 3 onto our kill score, around 100 here in favor of Navi MY. But one thing is for sure, Clyde is
Careful,
really
jatuh
having a hard
nanti.
time. First death, by the way, earlier here. Onto her. Eyes are on her. They just not letting her out of their sight.
Gue dah
here
besar
for
diorang nak kau
Navi
je.
MY.
Dah besar dia guys.
But it really just shows
Akhirnya
you
dah besar,
how
dia tak payah, aku dah tak payah dukung, the best, bro.
How terrifying
Berat
a
siap
focus is
dukung
in the
dia.
early game, right? Like that turtle one was
Okay, kita akan
literally
tengok
just
fight ni, guys.
dictated by
Fight turtle ni.
Navi MY, but it wasn't a team. It was just Sha going in, getting those massive dark waves, constantly pocketing it.
Kita akan tengok fight turtle ni.
Members. That's
Fight
plural.
turtle kali ni Minato ada ulti tau guys.
XMIs, right? Even onto the smallest of the passive.
Bukan aku lag guys, bukan aku lag dekat
Second
TikTok.
third of the game up for grabs. There's going to be a jump here by Remen onto Zaishi.
Dekat turtle ni Minato dah ada ulti tapi progress ni kacau tau. Baik tu Syah. Oh, nice. Nice, kacau. Nice, dah free nampak. Betapa OP-nya guys. Korang tengok tu progress. Free turtle kita.
Isolate the rest of the team from the turtle. Nike doing the same thing, has the AOG though. But look at Sha jumping back in now onto Zaishi. Forcing a flicker, Minus Fury coming out now with Claw. Still able to get the damage done.
Gila tu
Meanwhile,
Syah.
Ramisi rotating
Syah
up top
did the best
already, trying to get some
job ever tu.
thing more from the stray, but in the mid
Umur
lane,
Elina
pop
berapa?
out. Has already cleared it up.
Awak
Hani
umur berapa?
moving laser beams onto the turret now. Daiki trying his
1
best
tahun?
to clear it out and will be able to do so.
6 bulan.
Even though that was a successful defense here for Team Liquid. But speaking of
Rina?
which, let's hold it on. Rina being chased down.
Walks up forward, ultimate there as well, the fade away.
Mati,
Rina
weh.
takes
Oh, Rina salah tu guys, 2 kali.
tried her best
Sana ni.
to save her, but won't be able to do much.
Oh
I
no,
was
Rina.
supposed to say that took a lot from Team Liquid just to take down the shot. And onto the mid lane yet again. They don't want this game analyzed at
Bukan ada
all.
ulti.
No, they just want to brawl it out right now, and it's TLPH who've been able to get the better of these brawls. Rotating to the bottom lane.
Nice
Good
one,
kill
nice
for
one, nice one.
Hani.
Baik ni.
He's got to be careful here. 4 members of TLPH are stationed down below Hani.
Oh,
Whoa.
what?
Wow.
Very nice dodge here for Hani, even without the Purify itself activated. But for TLPH, going back to what we were saying, like, it took a lot from the just to take down a shot alone, right? But it started with there. You
Berat
just need
Rina
to
ni,
stop,
tu lah. Rina banyak
start
buat mistake ni.
somewhere.
Game
And
ni.
looking at the goal difference, it's not much of a lead
Ingat kan?
right now for Navi MY.
Tapi aman ni
Easy
guys,
to the
hariknya
favor of Team Liquid, but Papao
masih
and
farming
Clad
lagi.
just doing their
Duit tak
jobs
jauh- tak jauh ni,
Straight
1000 je.
outward onto the top and
Tak sampai
bottom
1000 pun.
side. And
Cuma
looking back here
petak
onto
sikit lah,
Navi
Liquid suka main
MY,
team fight, guys.
yeah, Shah has that
Liquid ni duk
sustainability,
berkepit 5 orang je ni.
tankiness,
Kalau diorang
but
berkepit, diorang kuat tau.
really has to be careful onto those kind of jumps. Just do it
Bagus
when
tu, Navi main side lane.
necessary. Because sometimes you're like, if you're missing, Navi MY will be left defenseless, right? There are no front laners here for Hani. Papao might be targeted, but right now, body-to-body defense.
Heavy spin, but it's onto the back line. Daiki was free right there. Now the traction pulse. Almost
Wih,
finding
Akai
out
dia dah
Shana,
buka
tries to
ulti.
be the knock-up as well.
Wih, Minato ada
Still
ulti lagi,
held
oh,
down
guys.
by Soju. Shaw, dark wave onto all of them. Luckily, taking
Mino
out the
simpan
one
ulti
that
lagi.
one more shot with the traceless. Ramisi doesn't go for a traceless
Papao.
backwards instead with the man
Wah,
force
dah kalah tu,
used by
betul ni.
Papao to clear up the way
Masing-masing
in the
dah guna
lane.
ulti lah.
Now,
Kimi
Rina
tak boleh contest lah.
holding the position.
Dari selok pun patut patah balik ni.
Go for it. A big taunt again over Remen, and she will be caught. Daiki gets away with
Ui,
the
lawa.
AOG.
Nice zoning.
1 HP.
Nice
The
zoning orang bilang.
turtle buff gets her a shield too.
Very nice.
Rina dapat
escape
retry.
here for Daiki. Finally,
dalam
first turtle
mimpi
here
dia
for
boleh masuk ni.
TLPH.
Dia
That
dua
is what
ke?
we're talking about for Team Liquid. If
Dia
in the
dua ke?
early game, you have too much to handle here by Shah alone.
Akai
but
susah, guys,
5
game ni.
minutes, it's enough. There takes just seconds for her to be torn down. Plus, I like the fact here that Soju is really proactive, not only onto the hills, but also onto trying to put herself onto the line just so Ramisi and even Class could get that position for the free hit. With which onto
Game ni susah lah game ketiga ni sebab diorang main team fight lah.
Plus, they managed to push over Annie. Just go back home here.
Dah susah dah ni sebab team fight diorang gak ada bang tau.
Satisfied reactions there from TL.
Yep.
Getting the team fight win and turning around. What
Ya,
looks to
cakap
be
kuat
a
sangat
good
lah.
start of the game for
Awak
Navi
ni pakai tu.
Malaysia.
And now the lead is on to TLPH, 1.4k net worth. And
Akannya nak target siapa ni? Aku tak tahu tu.
predicted by Soju.
Korang nampak tak guys? Minotaur duduk tepi kari je daripada tadi. Ui, ui, ui,
Straight to the front as Ramisi capitalizes. And look
Gila
at
kau
the
tengok
damage
Mino
Claw
ni.
just melting down the front
GG tu minyak ni.
triple looking for one more and it will be
Wah,
Claw to take
kalah
away
tu
the
guys.
Maniac. Wants to go for
Hard
a
game ni.
double for herself. You can see laughter from Daiki, from Claw as well.
Kena team fight-nya guys. Draftnya. Kenapa Akai doya? Dia cakap dah Akai susah nak main. Minotaur tu last pick tu bagus gila guys. Mino dia last pick kan, dia buat untuk counter guys, counter Akai. Korang tengok Mino counter Akai, counter Harit guys. Susah semua orang nak main dah. Ni bukan Mino counter Akai je, counter semua doh Minotaurnya.
The speedy light is just too much, and this is what I'm talking about, the reaction from Coach Moody. Giving it a standing ovation with a takedown alone, a triple kill here for Ramisi.
I don't want to flex, but I got a picture with Coach Moody just earlier in the lounge. So just I hope that doesn't
Magic ni kalau menang je. Kalau diorang boleh menang.
Over the shot, good poke over. TL still holding onto the neutral objective.
Turun bawah low bracket.
For TL, but continuing the damage onto the Lord. Sha as well, trying to somehow reset it.
Kalau kalah ni ada lagi guys. Kita turun lower bracket.
Daiki onto the front, Rina finding an opening.
Shah 2 kali weh dapat KS turtle. Lot
of her before she gets
Chase?
even more. AOG landing on Rem and
dapat
Soju
lot.
follow up as well. TL
Sumpah doh
has
Shah.
dropped the ball on Lord. Swap out.
Bagi tahu aku lah guys. Kalau tidak Navi dah kalah awal doh kalau kita tak ada Shah guys buat gameplay macam tu.
Imagine out of all
Serius.
the people there,
Tadi dia curi turtle guys. Sekarang dia curi lot. Macam mana pakai KS lot tu?
But Sha will be able to disrupt the process, take the Lord, even at the cost of her own life. But if it means to defend, extend the round, they'll take it. Team Liquid on the other hand, 3k gold lead still. Looking at the items, looking good here actually for Club with a 4-1 for KD as well, but the golden sub and the HS right on track. Able to tore down, nail down the Lord as fast as possible. Now Navi MY finally has the space to push off turrets onto the outer.
Anti-Chorus built up by Soju. Rina in the bottom lane just clearing that out. Sha 1 and 4, the KDA has not really reflected the performance, the level of impact that Sha has had on the game. 1 turtle, now 1 Lord, and also an early win for the team, all in the hands, single-handedly, of Sha.
She is definitely the game changer, game setter actually here for Navi MY. We need more of that. Navi MY needs more of that. They really want to take the lead here for Team Liquid. But on the other hand, considering how things went, Team Liquid needs to rethink of their strategies, who to prioritize, what to expect, on where will Sha come from, right? You have this Soju with the beautiful setup play. You also have the motivation roar, but you also need a bigger setup here for TLPH, preventing that from happening again. You have to learn from your mistakes and moving forward here. They're on the offense, breaking off the air turret on the bottom side. Sha just eyeing out. How many members are here? Even the orange buff stolen from Navi.
Boleh comeback ke Cham?
somehow
Kalau tanya aku boleh lagi guys. Sebab kan
level 14 to level
Harit late game sedap gak guys. Harit late game. Cuma itulah targeting diorang kena betul guys. Kalau boleh lah, kalau dapatkan ZTN dulu kan, sedap ni fight kita guys. Sebab kan kita kan kalau team fight pun nanti Povis ni jadi masalah juga untuk Team Liquid. Lancelot ni free. Banyak je kita punya. Oh, Hati
finding Zaishi forcing a flicker out, but now you see Elf.
Pasti.
Oh,
Tapi kalau dah tak ada ulti Akai ni nak buat apa dekat lot ni?
Never judge a KDA.
Patah je
Nice
lagi.
cover here for Sha. And looking at what she has to offer, she's putting a lot onto the table right now. Huge contributions, clash-wise or even micro-wise. Now the Lord being rushed off by TLPH, not giving anyone a check right now. They're going to take
Diorang nak defend lagi guys slot ni. Sebab goal lead guys, goal different ni tak jauh pun guys. Kalau korang tengok 3,000 je. 3,000 tu untuk minit 13 tak jauh pun. Sebab masing-masing boleh fight lagi.
I'm guessing just because they're not confident enough in their items. Whoa! Shot jumps into the back claw, still able to kite away that melting damage.
Mati dua kali. Mati dua Lancelot. Ni Gatot ni. Ush, ni rata terus. Wih, ni end terus tu guys. Jangan mati minit 12 guys. Aku bagi tahu korang. Guys, aku bagi tahu korang minit 12 kalau korang mati kan. 3 orang memang terus end. Sebab korang akan hidup 30 saat tau. Mana sempat 30 saat guys. Oh GG akainya. GG nice try. Oh ni kiranya first time main. First time main guys. Team Liquid ni menang dengan Team Navi kita. Sebab sebelum ni diorang bantai 2-0 guys.
If I was on stage, I would have just clapped hands with Soju. Soju was like, "Can I get a high five?"
Push MMR Lancelot ke?
I'll go later.
Yo guys, korang nak tahu tak Rina main 5 game Lancelot dah. Dia tak main lagi hero lain. Kan? Tak silap aku semua Lancelot. Ada satu game je dia main hero lain ke tak ada? Aku rasa semua. Dengar lah. Yashin satu game Yashin. 4 game main tu. Nabi tak ada game lagi ke? Tak ada tu. Nabi ada game besok lah. Bukan hari ni. Hari ni dah habis lah. Aduh, ingat ke diorang nak defend lot tu? Lot tu boleh defend lagi. Boleh main lagi lot tu. Tapi serius lah, Mino pick guys. Kalau korang tengok last pick Coach Team Liquid buat memang OP gila guys. Dia pick Minotaur kat situ. Team kita semua susah nak main guys. Kenapa Akai tu Hisham? Aku rasa lah Akai dia kan, dia nak buat untuk lawan ni lah. Lawan si nak cover lah. Aku rasa nak initiate dah cover. Aku rasa dia macam pede lah. Dia macam pede nak pakai Akai kat situ. Sebab dia tak ada reason pun nak pakai Akai tadi. Sebab Akai bagi aku dia tak ada counter hero assassin lain pun tadi. Sebab member pakai Shanshin, mana ada counter dengan Akai. So bagi aku pick Akai tu tak ada reason. Dia macam mau pada nak pakai je. Masa aku nak pakai tu kita just ni lah. Kita just pakainya sebab kita rasa kita confident untuk pick off orang kan. Boleh pick off pakai Akai, boleh cover pakai Akai. Tapi masalahnya dia pergi pick Minotaur last pick gila. Keluar Minotaur last pick Akainya jadi Tugu tu.
Now first question that we have for you is that TLPH has met, at Navi MY before.
Carry mid game, Povis tak sempat sampai backline dah mati Syam. Yo.
Navi MY actually took the win. So what did you guys change?
Povis kita cair guys tadi kena.
Approaching this game to secure this win.
Okay, dati na meet nyo na ang Navi MY, di ba? At sila ang nanalo. Ngayon, ano ang ginawa nyo para naman matalo sila this
Daripada Akai baik pakai Joe Head of Renko.
Nag-prepare po kami ng maayos kagabi and
Wah, aku tahu dia cakap apa.
tapos
Dia rasa dia dah
pinagandaan din po namin nila coach. yung
bersyukur
draft
menang.
po.
Okay, we really prepared for this fight, especially last night, and really took the learning from our coach.
Ah, so it's all in coach. No wonder he was celebrating back end. Now, the next question that we have for Kla would be that this was a surprising best
Aduh,
of
Rom pun
three.
tak bisa
What
Chow.
did you
Pick Chow
guys
tadi menang dah.
do
Tapi
and
Pop pun
re-strategize
ambil yang kick.
before you guys
Aku tak
took
tahulah.
the
Hero power dia siapa guys?
Okay, diba,
Hero power
nangyari
Roma
naging
kita
best
tu.
of 3 at nakuha niyo yung
Tu import tu kan?
match ngayon. Ano kaya ang ginawa niyo for that?
Siguro kaya po umabot ng game 3 kasi dahil
Hero power dia apa? Akai
tapos nang bumawi lang po.
So maknanya tu hero power dia lah.
Reset lang.
Dia tengah tunjuk tu main
I
Akai
think
tadi.
We won the game because of
Shoot lah,
Chaka
Akai.
and Vegeta.
Susah dia main Akai.
And of course,
Sebab
we
bagi aku
don't stop
timing
because we
banget tu.
prepared for this.
Kau boleh lah pakai Akai kalau
it's
Akai kau
Catherine
macam
helping here now.
level-level
Just kidding.
user
Okay.
Akai yang
Now, Kla,
sebenar.
Congratulations on getting
Asal
Sony
lock,
MVP.
asal
Now,
tanduk je memang
you've
melekat.
broken a
Ini
record right
ulti
here
pun
with the
untuk
Sony
lari tu
for
tadi.
getting a most number of kills, 15
Tak boleh tu.
kills to your
Akai dia
name,
tadi bagi aku,
superseding none other
kalau
than
dia
Fafau,
betul
who
user
is
setiap
the
guys kalau kita
opponent
nak tengok dia
right
main
here
ni. Tapi
today.
tadi pun
Is there
ulti
anything that you would like
tak
to say?
sampai
What
tiba-tiba
can we
pusing
expect from
seseorang.
you with this stellar performance even in day 2?
Aish.
Okay, ikaw
Boleh
may
ke? Tak boleh guys.
pinakamataas
Tak
na
jumpa
kills
dinding ke
ngayon,
Akai dia?
ano? At nalagpasan mo pa si Fafau. Ano kaya ang
Better lah
masasabi
kalau aku
mo
bagi jadi Aish
sa
Aish.
pagkapanalo mo ngayon? At ano pa
Aku
yung
dah tak nak
aabangan
bagi
nila
hero mechanic
sa
dekat
mga
engkau.
susunod na laban?
Boleh tak kau just main Beleric
Lang, ginawa ko lang
ataupun
yung
Gatot
best ko, tapos,
ataupun Hylos.
malakas
Kau
din
main
kasi
je
yung
3
counter
hero
ko,
ni.
kaya ganun.
Matilda
Tapos,
ke?
sana,
Main hero
patuloy
non
namin
mechanic.
supportahan.
Bagi aku
Next
perempuan kalau nak
laban
menang
namin.
jangan bagi hero yang mekanik sangat pun.
Honestly,
Main hero santai je. Tak payah pakai Tigreal ke Akai ke Chow ke. Ini hero-hero yang lelaki sahaja boleh pakai guys. Agak susah untuk perempuan nak pakai hero-hero macam ni sebab memerlukan critical thinking yang kuat tau untuk kita pick off. Kalau kita pakai Gatot guys, senang je. Semua orang boleh pakai guys. Tengok dia pakai Gatot guys last game. Minotaur ke? Minotaur pun senang tak main?
Wow. You did win because of the team fight or the draft.
Jangan Syam, nanti ada yang marah. Aku nak WhatsApp lah Aish. Kena WhatsApp Aish ni Aish. Game on lah. Last aku tak nak tengok Akai dah Aish. Aku dah tak tengok Akai lah. Kau pergi pick hero selain pada Akai. Kau bagi dia main Gatot ke Mino ke.
We'll win game 2.
We're honored to be mentioned in an international
Akai.
broadcast that we cost the game number 3. But
I lost easy though. I
thought
lost
it was actually going to be a long game. I mean, Sha played really well.
Kau tengok ni Akai.
Even taking 2 objectives.
Best jungler in the game.
Susah nak main. Datang-datang pusing kena ulti Minotaur tu. Meninggal siap.
Hidden retribution we do not know of. I do not know where it came from, but Sha really did a great job at extending this game. But we saw a lot
Tapi
of
betul lah cakap
struggles
caster
in
ni guys.
Navi MY's
Tanpa
execution for this particular
Sha KS
lineup.
slot tadi kan.
I feel like
Kalau korang
whenever
tanya
they
aku dah
wanted to
habis
go
lagi
in
awal ni
and
game
attempt
ni.
to do something starting off
Nasib
with a
baik
heavy
kita
spin,
dapat lot tadi.
if it goes wrong, everything just starts to go wrong.
So it means that we haven't seen a very successful Akai yet in this league. Probably that has been a struggle for majority of our female players, but definitely for Navi MY. I think with this heavy crowd control hero doesn't
Balik ke ada peluang? Ada dia. Diorang turun low bracket guys. Navi kita turun low bracket.
She can withstand every damage from Team Liquid Philippines, but it just so happens that after the heavy spin, it's just like Team Liquid that they can just focus and wreak havoc against other players of Navi MY, and all throughout the game, it's
Kau tengok tu Sha yang dapat tu. Sumpah kat sini pun Sha buat game lagi guys. 1v4. Korang tengok ni. Jago tu budak ni. Serius. Bagi aku dia bisa main tu.
Even though they banned out the Ruby, that did not stop Team Liquid
Gila
from
tu Sha.
finding ways to
Sha like
disrupt
hidden
whatever
MVP
plans
guys.
they
Walaupun
had
dia
in
1-5
mind.
kan game ni.
The Minotaur just
Tapi dia
had
banyak
to
guys
stop.
whole game.
And every single attempt could be immediately
Diorang
denied
akan nak
or
jaga
the tempo
Fafau.
is broken for Navi MY. And so there were a lot of instances too wherein we felt like Navi MY just wanted to go
Oh ya
for
tu,
it.
kenapa tak ambil Hisham? Okay guys, aku end live dulu. Internet aku pun dah start gila-gila dah ni. Kita jumpa malam lagi. Bye bye, Assalamualaikum.